Well, there's a reason both head coaches on these two teams are considered for National Hockey League jobs, because their teams are so disciplined and detailed.
We have Hockey East officials for this game, and we also have a little extra bonus for you. A referee, Jeremy Tufts, and a linesman, Nick Bergani, both have cameras right in their chest area. You remember the old ref cams? These ones are even better. Steady your shot. Look how crystal clear that is. So we'll get some great shots, and we certainly thank these Hockey East officials. You see it right there, right in their sternum, to get some extra shots. We are loaded with a fantastic camera crew for this Frozen Four all over Enterprise Center in the great sporting city of St. Louis, Missouri. The first time ever the Western Michigan Broncos have made the Frozen Four. The Denver Pioneers going for back-to-back national championships, and 3 in 4 years. They're the team of the decade. They're the team of the century as well here in the 21st century. And we are underway in St. Louis. The Frozen Four is underway in 2025. And certainly in a low-scoring game, which David Carl has forecasted, that first goal is so important. There's Bump, the soft chip. No icing as Costantini wins the race. Behind Bullion. Bump gathers, throws it towards the right point. However, Väisänen is not there to get it. Quick change to Denver, just 28 seconds in.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You want to get all 4 lines out on the ice. Everybody's nervous. I know Alex Bump said they weren't feeling anything, but she had played in this game. Everybody is feeling the butterflies right now. So short shift, maybe a hit early.
Turnover. Here comes the dangerous Bump. Tried to dangle, but a great stick by Ashcroft. And here come the Pios speeding the other way. Top line, Jack Devine leads the nation in scoring. Number 4. But yet that has a goal in his NCAA tournament career. Rebound shot. Oh, Davis saved. Another rebound. Off the crossbar.
Oh my God.
The crowd is shocked. There were 2 yawning nets, especially for Zach Nearing. Davis was gone. He was out of the crease. And it hit the crossbar. The crowd sees the Jumbotron replay. That was the gasp you just heard. Matt Davis might have superpowers at the Frozen Four.
Oh my God.
Here comes Denver. Zeev Bullion is a rock star. He's out there on the left point for Denver. He has the puck now. The Minnesota Wild draft pick. He might win the Hobey Baker tomorrow. Ryan Leonard will fly into St. Louis and be here in person if he wins it. Isaac Howard, who says he's coming back to Michigan State, will be here as well. A fantastic Final 3 for the Hobey Baker awarded tomorrow night. Here's the dangerous Bullion, surrounded by 4 Broncos. Open pass to space, almost connected nicely there. With Capone, can't get it, and now Western Michigan up the wall. And this team likes to go north, Colby. What does that mean?
Well, you've seen 3 plays just lobbing pucks out into the neutral zone, trying to get in on the forecheck right now, but you won't see a lot of east-west. You won't see a lot of board-to-board. They want to go downhill, and they want to play offense and have the puck.
Stolen, good anticipation, turnover, quick shot wide. Slukinski's only 19 years old in net. There's a big experience edge for Denver.
Yeah.
The undrafted Matt Davis for Denver and Hampton Slukinski. And here's that amazing chance, 2 of them for Western Michigan. Zach Nearing still can't believe that man and his pipe kept it out of the net.
Well, and it's just a harmless bounce, right? This is a puck that Matt Davis doesn't track well. He makes the first save, and watch how his stick actually gets back across. And I mean, I don't know whether it's skill, whether it's luck. You know, your posts have to be your best friends, but keep an eye on the boards, right? The puck is bouncing, and, you know, that is a absolutely lucky break for Matt Davis and the Pios early in this hockey game.
Puck flipped a little bit on edge. Shot redirected just wide. Severine with a chance right in front of the net. The Denver native. Polkamp can rip it. Blocked in front. Polkamp had a great game against Boston College. Scoring and physical play for number 23. So for Nearing, the puck went a little bit on edge, and it hit the crossbar right in the middle of that crossbar.
You just do not expect to see this, right? We talk about the nerves of this hockey game, and, you know, Denver, they just fell asleep. It looked harmless. Nobody recovered. And that puck goes right off the iron. That is a play that we will revisit throughout this hockey game because, you know, the implications from that could be huge.
Same thing happened last year. Boston College, good start. Cutter Gauthier hit the post. Bouillon turns away. He can make something out of nothing. He is a magical player to watch. Turning away, looking for an avenue. To the net. Deflected just high. Shot. Save in front. Now Denver with the threat. Shot blocked. Nice block by Brian Kramer, and the defenseman brings it back up the ice. Kramer, it's his third college team. But a year at Robert Morris, 3 at AIC, and now here he is for Western.
Yeah, played for Eric Lang, who just got the head coaching job at RPI. Congrats to him.
Here's the lineup there for Western Michigan, the one that had that threat early. Nearing back out there, looking in front. Tipped away by Ashcroft. Quick shot! Never got there. Western's getting their chances early. The 2 highest scoring teams in the nation, head-to-head, trying to reach the national championship game. Here comes the Pios the other way now. 4th line out there, Hagen Burrows and company. Make that Sam Harris, who leads them in scoring. Denver has 3 20-goal scorers. Tim Washi, NHL free agent. Lots of scouts are here looking at number 16. Takes a big hit there from Sam Harris. Head snap back a bit. Now he'll try to chase down Harris. Harris has 23 goals to lead the Pios, number 12. Here comes Eero Hakkinen, number 22. Talked to his teammates yesterday, so number 22 is mean. A mean 21-year-old Finn.
Yeah, 22 in white. Anytime there's confrontation on the ice, 22 is around it. He likes to get inside. He likes to get in people's faces. Plays with Washi. It's an important line.
Heavy forecheck almost created the turnover. Cole Kruzberg-Rosine couldn't quite keep it in, and he has it back again. The 22-year-old New Hampshire native, number 3. How's the pace down there, Colby?
You know what? It hasn't been as high pace because I think the nerves are high on everyone right now. To me, Butchie, it looks like guys are a little tight to start this hockey game.
Well, they'll get their first TV timeout to think about it and talk to their head coaches. No score at the Frozen Four. Denver's the hottest team in the nation. Won their last 8, 21-24, as you see there. That's Pat Ferschweiler, an excellent head coach. The NCAA guaranteed it'll be represented in the title game again. This will be a staggering 8th time in the last 9 years an NCAA team will play in the championship game.
I don't know if I'm buying the whole down year narrative.
Yeah.
2 teams in the Frozen Four, and they just continue to win big games when it matters most.
Denver's had an interesting year. They began 12-0, then they lost 5 of 7, including an exhibition loss to UNLV, a club team, and a shootout. But they got themselves together late, and here they are again with a chance to win back-to-back national championships, and 3 in 4 years. Western has it again now, behind the net. Bump, back to the point. Kramer rips it. Kruzberg-Rosine back to Bump. Philadelphia Flyer draft pick, beautiful move on the wall. Looking across. Cosentini goes back to Bump. Owen Michaels is net side. But Denver gets it. This will be icing on the Pioneers.
And Alex Bump, not just any type of prospect, Butchie, but a big-time prospect for the Philadelphia Flyers. And you see how these 2 teams matched up this season. What do you notice there? A lot of 1-goal games. You see a couple of overtimes. So buckle up. This game is going to be tight. It's going to be high octane. And I have a feeling it's just going to get more and more physical here as we go.
Face off to the right of Matt Davis. Slukinski, Valente, Nearing. Quick shot just wide from Liam Valente. He's had a really good year after transferring from Providence College. Nearing in front. Taken there, though, by Lorenz.
Look how stubborn Western is in the neutral zone. They don't back up. They do not give off the red line. Their back pressure was good there. This game is going to be won or lost in the neutral zone tonight. Absolutely.
Grant Slukinski on the hard forecheck. Nearing digs it out and goes back to the point. Bisoning can't get it. Now gets it back, throws it back in. Western will touch up and they'll change.
I asked Alex Bump there when he came off the last shift how the ice was. He said it's good, but it's a little sticky.
Here comes Denver now, attacking. Shot divine, bothered. Beautiful stick play there. That was Sam Sholin, the defenseman. He'll go change. Now that gives Denver room to break out Aiden Thomas. Thompson is a dangerous, speedy winger, number 7. Stops, fires it across. Ashcroft, wrist shot. That's over the head of Hampton Sukinski. Ripped it down and in by James Reeder. Salmonen, Reeder, and Harris. Great to have Mike Cavanaugh with us, the UConn Husky head coach. He had Salmonen the last couple of years. Salmonen changes almost too many men on the ice.
Brown waited that 1 extra second to play the puck to let his guys jump, and a good job by the officiating crew to be patient on that one.
Kramer bothered by the nice forecheck of Reeder. Denver would try to clog up that neutral zone and slow down this Western Michigan team, but they've had their chances. Big save by Davis off a corky bounce, and then off the crossbar as Zach Nearing almost made it 1-0 early.
There goes Western Michigan getting into their 1-2-2 set out in the neutral zone. Again, same thing. These teams are really trying to do identical things. Slow down the neutral zone. Let the defense play inside the dots. And so far, Western has been the team willing to get the puck back behind the goal. And this was the best chance of the period. And Zach Nearing gets that open net. The puck just unfortunately goes up on edge. But, you know, you talk about the nerves of this game, and Matt Davis doesn't mind it so much as he gets bailed out by the pipe.
He'll take a break. The play's at the other end right now in front of Slukinski. Western wins the faceoff. 2 solid faceoff teams. Here comes Bump. Bump, beautiful move, but a good stick. You can see the talent of Alex Bump, the 21-year-old Flyers 5th round pick, 23 goals on the year. Goes off his skates, but the Pio's able to get it out. Bison quickly back up to Bump. Puck bouncing, and again, Denver throws it into the crowd. That's not an automatic penalty in NCAA hockey.
But you can't change.
Cannot change, and that's what the referees are letting the Pioneers know.
Hasn't been a ton of flow to this game, and I think partly because both teams just defending the house well. You see the little turnover there for Western Michigan, and a couple of breakouts that were not executed as clean as Pat Ferschweiler would like, and leading to a little bit of offense for both groups.
Brant Slukinski, Northern Michigan last year. He and his brother, the goalie in net. Now here at Western Michigan.
Look at that shot.
Beautiful. Face-off controlled by Denver, off the glass and out. Thompson can't gather it, and right back comes Western. Eliminate along the wall. It was once again Volkamp who stepped up. And again, Denver's a little bit on their heels, just trying to get the puck out of their zone here. Waiting for their chances. Again, we talked about it, Manchester. They're a patient team.
Yeah.
Turnover. King bothered. Nearing. Stick check from behind by Thompson, but he wins the battle. And Nearing now, center of the ice.
I think with Denver, Butchie, they're on their heels, but they're not, right? Because they're always in the right position defensively, that even when it gets scrambly, you see a winger like King, 15 in red. He was right in the perfect spot, ready to take that turnover, breaks the puck out. So Denver is about as good as any team at just kind of waiting patiently in the defensive zone.
That'll be deflected into the netting at the blue line. The winner of this game will play for the national championship on Saturday. The Frozen Four continues with Game 2 tonight on ESPN2. Penn State, their first trip to a Frozen Four against Boston University right here on ESPN2. Again, winners meet Saturday night. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your official home for all 90 NCAA championships. The Pios well represented to the left of Matt Davis, so they'll see their netminder in periods 1 and 3. That's where most of the Pio fans have gathered. Midway through the first period. Kramer rips it in. Once again, Western goes on the hunt. Washi, big body, knocks down Brown. Fish it out, Hakkarainen across to Kramer. Kramer can't find a lane, blocked. Denver will be in the lanes all night long. Davis is gonna let it go now. They gave him a chance. It was a delayed offside, so he could let that go, and here come the Pirates. Here comes Reeder. Stops. Easy clear by Western.
Yeah, look how they just swarm you behind the net. This is iron sharpening iron. I mean, 3 weeks ago, that NCAA championship 2 overtime game, because these teams are just so well structured.
Connor Capone, number 22 out there for Denver. Career game 185. That's a school record. Here's Zach Sharp, number 10. Fire pokes it up the wall. There'll be a lot of wall battles in this game. Trying to fish that puck out, find the guy, and get a quick shot. Number 19 is Jake Fisher, the freshman. Avalanche 4th round pick. He reaches for it. But again, there's a knock from behind. Arm in the air. First penalty of the game is going to Denver. Here comes Bump. Extra attacker is on. Bump will wait. He'll take a whack. 6-on-5 hockey. Delayed penalty coming up on the Denver Pioneers.
Yeah, Sebrian's going to go to the box here. I think they're going to get him for a board. Only going to be 2 minutes, though.
Careful, passing the puck towards your own net. Bump. Here he comes. Bump. Fakes. Shifts. Taken out of the play. Still alive. Drasner. Sholin shot. Deflected. Oh, just wide. Owen Michaels with a beautiful tip. And it just went wide of Davis. And here comes the Western power play.
Denver penalty number 24, 2 minutes boarding.
Boarding is the call. And Western Michigan, that first goal is so important, and they're going to get a chance to get it on the power play. Back at St. Louis, Missouri, Sebrian in the box for boarding. And Western goes on the power play. 4th game between these two this year. Denver's yet to score a first period goal in the 4 matchups. Western has scored just once, and they're hoping to do it here.
Well, they had 4 power play goals last weekend. Keep an eye on 23, Valente. He has a howitzer of a one-timer.
So does Bump. He has it. One-timer, Sholin, blocked.
Yeah, they'll have Bump going downhill, and he'll shoot.
Pass in front. That was kind of a shot pass, looking for a Michaels redirection. Bump settles it nicely. Sholin finds Valente. Back to Sholin. Bump wants it. Taps on the ice and fires. Save Davis. Rebound. Save. Never save with the right pad. You cannot beat him low on the ice. He flares out those pads. He does not have a stick right now. Bump knows that. Goes towards Michaels, who settles. Around the wall to Valente. Gets by him. And beautiful play by King to take the body and take the puck. Bump knocks it in. Denver, though, smacks it out. High in the air off the deflection from Sholin. Beautiful play by Bump to use his skates to settle. But it's chopped out of there, and Western has to start again halfway through the power play. Neary, who hit the crossbar in the opening moments of this game. Hard forecheck by Neary. Lukinski fishes. Neary has it. Now they're set up again. Washi lets it go to Kramer. Bisonin, Penguin draft pick. Waiting for the lane to open up. It won't. Kramer fakes. Bisonin, quick shot. Blocked in front again. Kramer back to Bisonin. Bisonin sends it across. Lukinski fires, save. It's loose. Rebound covered up. Davis saw that puck late. But again, everything just seems to hit him in the NCAA tournament.
You know what, Butchie? It's his ability to track pucks. My sight line is so perfect when they're playing off this left side. I can see the angle towards the net, and this was the opportunity by Bump. We highlighted his release. So for Matt Davis's ability to kick his leg out, watch the right leg on Matt Davis, the goalie, just tracking pucks, picking them up, and then smothering opportunities. And you could see Denver under fire on this penalty kill, kind of living to fight another day.
Grosberg-Crozine blocked. Gets it back. Saved by Davis. Perfect position. Shot flutters into his gut. You heard Michael smack the goalie pad as he looked for that rebound. But again, Matt Davis.
And there's so much traffic. Give Western Michigan a lot of credit. They understood the mandate. We got to get in front of Matt Davis. We got to make things more difficult. Look at the body count, but 35 in red, just tracking pucks, not giving up big juicy rebounds. I know Andrew Raycroft sitting in Bristol right now, absolutely drooling over this guy's rebound control.
Neither of these teams have scored a power play goal against one another this year. The PK has been perfect both ways. So another kill by Denver in this matchup this year. That's 6 for 6 on the season. 5 shots on goal on that power play for Western. And again, Matt Davis is Mr. April. King can't get the shot off. Bump out there again. He takes a high hit from Devine. Quick shot. Broke the stick of Bump, but he was going to change anyway. Denver needs some offense now. They haven't had much. They really haven't tested the 19-year-old Hampton Slukinski in net.
I wonder if that almost works against Slukinski. You know, he hasn't seen a lot of action. He hasn't seen a lot of pucks. I think goaltenders, they like taking some shots early. They like getting themselves into the game.
Devine, here they come. Salmonen back, almost hit the stick of Bump that's still on the ice. Polkamp. Akarainen strips him. Sharp gets out. There's Polkamp. He loves to throw his weight around. Puck bouncing. Here comes Denver. Thompson turns away. Patient play. Leaves it for Bulliam. He can break you down one-on-one, which he does. Bulliam around the net. See, Bulliam still has it. He'll take a lap. Leave it for Devine to the net. Just why Slukinski never saw it.
That hit off Salmonen in front of the net, and Slukinski was looking to track that thing down. Get a little bit of a lucky break there.
Garrett Brown wheels around with speed. Denver pretty much going with 5 defensemen since the Boston Buckberger injury. In front! The best save of the game for Slukinski. Finally tested. Salmonen point blank at the top of the crease. Henriks, Knubel, and Sidlowski out there now, the 4th line for Western. It's Mike Knubel's son, Cam, who centers this 4th line, number 19. Henriks can't keep it in, a Ranger draft pick. Sidlowski, the freshman, able to get it out. And now here comes Henriks. He's a tall, rangy player. Quick shot. Save Davis. Doesn't know where it is. The puck is loose. Another save off the backhand tap from Knubel.
Well, it's been a bit of a feeling out first period. And you always wonder when Denver's going to start getting downhill. Hampton Slukinski tested late in the first. We sit tied at 0.
Welcome back to St. Louis. The Lunatics are here, and so is Quint Kesnick.
Coach, how do you solve Matt Davis?
Well, we're just going to keep putting shots on him. We've got some goals on him in the past. We believe we got to get more volume and more traffic in front.
What's got your critical attention right now?
Well, what I like is I like the way we're skating. I like the way we're attacking with the puck, and I like the way we're defending with our sticks. So a lot of good things happening.
Thank you, Coach.
Pat Ferschweiler's the youngest of 6 children. Grew up in Rochester, Minnesota, and boy, his boys have had chances, Colby.
Well, I couldn't agree more with what Pat Ferschweiler said. His team has been the faster team. They have defended well with their sticks, and what has stood out to me, other than the offensive opportunities around Matt Davis, is the fact that their sticks just seem to be everywhere. They seem to swarm in the offensive zone. They're on top of the crease, making it difficult for Matt Davis, and they got to be happy the way this first period has gone for them so far.
Nearing's been around it all game long, number 8. Out there with Slukinski and Valenti. Western Michigan really stacks the offense. They just keep coming. Wouldn't really say they have a top line. These top 2 certainly the most potent. Valenti, quick shot.
And they've got 8 game-winning goals out of their 3rd-line center with Tim Washy. So I think they're a 3-line team that you can't choose between those 3 lines for who's your top line.
Grosberg-Crozine pinned against the wall with King, Devine, Nearing, Valenti. How How about a whistle? Blow the whistle.
You can hear the official telling him move the puck, no whistle. I mean,
But it's in a precarious spot. He should blow the whistle. Western comes out with it. Valente, quick shot across, looking for a play. Denver off the glass. Denver Pioneers need some offense here. Here's Aiden Thompson. He can deliver. Speedy winger drops his stick. It knocked out of his hand, I should say. Western's had a power play, and Colby didn't want to give Denver one.
Denver almost 30% on the power play. That is an unheard of number.
Here comes Michaels. He read that play. Gets the corner. Quick shot! Glove save and a beauty.
Wow.
That puck exploded off the blade of Alex Bump, but Davis stuck that right glove up next to his right ear, deflected it, and covered it up.
And look, we talk about the release of Alex Bump all the time, but how about the way he finds areas on the ice to get himself open? That little spot that he creeps into before Michaels dishes that puck. I mean, that is such a small window for a guy who the other team has a focal point on. So the release, the ability to find those soft areas, we see why the Flyers love this guy so much.
Here's that third line Colby was talking about, the 23-year-old Washi with Shingothi and Hakkarainen. As Bump has had his chances. Sholin, shot just wide. Washi try to backhand it in front. Now he'll battle right, sends him to the ice. Quickly back up north. Western likes to defend with the puck. If they have it, you're not dangerous offensively. And we've seen it on display.
That's my kind of hockey right there. Less time in the D zone. Possess the puck.
Salmonen out there now. Chops it back to the point to Polkamp. Hakkarainen read that play, and here comes Shingothi now. He's got Washi next to him. But he's going to turn and change. Under 2 minutes left in the first. John Butchercross, Colby Cohen, Quint Kesnick here in St. Louis. Game one of our Thursday doubleheader. BU and Penn State follows.
How about Pat Ferschweiler getting Bump's line right back out on the ice? They came off. They felt like they're moving well. They get the big scoring chance, and Ferschweiler gets this top line right back out on the ice.
Michaels fishes it out, throws it bad angle, comes around to Kramer off the deflection. Quick shot, blocked, fumbles wide. Bump gathers it, here he goes. To the middle of the ice. Creating, shooting just wide. Davis lets his defenseman know where it is. Ashcroft finds it, and here comes the dangerous Harris. Try to go short side high on the butterfly Slukinski. William out there for the final minute of the opening period. Here's the 1 minute to go call in St. Louis.
1 minute to play in the first period.
Slukinski. Back and forth they go. Nearing will gain the red line and tumble it in. He takes a hard hit. Just a couple of shots on goal. Turnover. Valente throws it across. Deflected towards Davis. Denver's trying to survive this first period onslaught from their conference foe and get to the room scoreless if they can't get one themselves. Again, they haven't scored a first period goal against Western this year. Again, Western only has one themselves. So these teams, at least this year, the offense has slowly cranked up as the game has gone along.
Yeah, they both play so tight, so responsibly. I think there's no team in the country more comfortable just being patient than Denver.
Polkamp, he is always sniffing offense. He got a hard wrist shot there onto Slukinski.
Yeah, that's only their third shot of the period.
Capital One intermission report is coming up. Arda Ocal, Sean Richland, former NHL Rookie of the Year Andrew Raycroft, and Mike Cavanaugh, the UConn head hockey coach, pride of South Windsor, Connecticut, in studio with us. And Alex Bump, who told Quint Kesnick before the game, I'm feeling no emotion. And he's played like it. He's played like an absolute menace out there. He has 3 shots on goal here in the first.
Yeah, I don't think I believe him.
Yeah,
but
right.
Good for him for pretending.
Speak it into existence. fewest shots for Denver in the opening period of any game this season. No score at the Frozen Four after 20 minutes. Back to the studio in Arda.
We know what this guy is capable of in a Frozen Four.
.979 save percentage coming into the game. 12 more saves in the opening period. See if Denver can get some offense, but it's Western coming first. Bump, curl and drag, fire, save, it's loose. Hit Davis right in the mask. It unbuckled his mask, and as the puck fell in front of him, the mask came off, and the whistle blew.
We talked a lot about the future Philadelphia Flyer, Alex Bump. Watch the little toe drag right there around Anderson's stick, who's a phenomenal defender for Denver. He just pulls it in a couple of inches. He keeps it away from Anderson's stick, and all in one motion, that puck gets in on Matt Davis. That is not easy to do in the middle of the ice. It's high traffic. You got to worry about a player coming across the middle to take your head off. So again, it's the skill of number 20 in white, Alex Bump, and it's the saves from number 35 in red, Matt Davis. That continues to be a theme in this hockey game.
Denver was outshot 15-2 in the third period in this year's regional. Colby and I were at against Boston College. So 15-2, 13-3, that's 28-5. The last couple of periods are now change for Denver against their opponent. Here comes Wright. The fastest skater on Denver is number 18. They're getting outshot by Alex Bump himself in this game. And Bump has it again, tries to reach for it. Kent Anderson gets in the way. Bump has it back. He'll throw it in, take a hit from Lorenz, and then he'll change. Here's Anderson, head man. Too far. This will be icing on Denver. Quint Kesnick is ringside with us tonight.
Well, I spoke to Jason Herter, the assistant coach on the defensive door for Western Michigan. Very satisfied and happy at this point. Said the Broncos defense, we got to keep skating. Denver's forwards try to speed you up. Don't rush, but be fast. Communicate and be calm.
I think you've seen that throughout this first period, just the way they swarm pucks, just the way their sticks are in lanes. That is always the sign of a well-coached team. And on this face-off here, Brian Kramer lined up wide, 14. They might try to get it to him. Oh, that's just too clean of a win, but Western likes to line that defenseman up on the wide side and look for that one-timer.
Valente keeps it in. Comes all the way around. Thompson with speed. Kukinski, excellent back pressure. Stays with them. Here's Devine. Top line's been quiet so far for Denver. Valente gathers and goes.
Former Providence Friar having a big year for the Broncos.
2 years in Providence. 14 goals this year. In year one in Western. And there he is, number 23, the 21-year-old Swede. Son of Matthias and Josephine. And the most outstanding player of the Fargo Regional. The boys say he shoots the puck hard.
That one-timer goal he had against Michael Harabel, he absolutely wired that thing.
Again, Denver on the retreat, trying to get a clean breakout, but Washi throws it in front. Kept in, quick shot deflected. Behind the net, puck bouncing. Denver tries to get it out of trouble. Hakarainen with it, reverses nicely. All the way across, but excellent stick by Devine as sprinting towards the net was Zach Sharp.
Yeah, the defenseman, number 10 for the Broncos, just sees Hakarainen controlling the puck down in the offensive zone, starts making his way to the back door like any smart offensive defenseman will do. And you know, the Western Michigan Broncos, they like to activate those D, and that's a heads-up play by Jack Devine, number 4, in a perfect spot as a winger.
Again, Western applying the pressure. Bouillon trying to make his presence felt in this Frozen Four, number 28.
Doesn't take him much, Bouillon.
Nope.
He could be quiet for a couple of shifts, and all he needs is a foot or two of space.
He strikes like lightning. Sharp around the net. Bouillon is there, battling with Henricks. Well, Denver can't get a clean pass, so that will allow Scholin to throw it right back in again.
Quint talked to Jason Herder about how happy he's been with the defensive effort.
Turnover, Cosentini, bump, pass to Michaels. It's just at his feet too much. Beautiful tic-tac-toe passing there from the Broncos. And they continue the pressure on Denver. Slight little grab there, play continues. As Salmonen is watching bump. Cosentini walks out with a backhand save. Davis, puck is loose, goes behind the net. Bump shot, that's a slashing penalty on bump. And the Denver power play, so potent, as Bouillon was hacked, will get their first shot on the power play in the Frozen Four.
Western Michigan, number 20, minor penalty slashing.
So Western Michigan gonna lose Alex Bump after the little confrontation here. Just takes the stick out of Zeev Bouillon's hands, and Bouillon was gonna stay on the ice for the power play. He was out for a long shift, and he probably had a 45-second to a minute shift already. I don't think this guy is a stranger to a lot of ice time, as Alex Bump watches on and hopes his team can defend this 30% power play of Denver.
Both these teams have good special teams. Bouillon stays out there, as Colby mentioned. Here's Denver. After getting dominated for the most part, they can go up 1-0. Bouillon, Devine to the net, backhand in front. Denver keeps it in. Thompson, Bouillon. Jack Devine looking for his first career tournament goal. Thompson, one-timer, easy save, Lukinski. King didn't get much on that one.
Yeah, you'd expect the Denver power play to be a little more patient than that. Lukinski's gonna make that save all day. See King just fades too far out past the dot. And I heard Mike Cavanaugh and Sean Richland talking about making plays down low. Don't keep the puck up high, but when you have Bouillon just kind of roaming around the ice, it makes everybody back on their heels of, is he gonna dive in? Is he gonna stay out? Just so potent, this Denver power play. And the net comes off the moorings there. And
as the freshman goaltender Hampton Slukinski, he took over as Western starting goaltender in mid-February. He's been elite since. The Warroad, Minnesota native has started the last 11 games for the Brown and Gold. And in that stretch, the Kings draft pick is 10-1, Colby.
Certainly a guy who's seen some big moments. Played at the World Juniors. David Carl talked to us about the fact that they considered even playing him in the big game against Canada. So this guy is not afraid to come out with a little bit of cold-bloodedness and the ability to weather the pressure in a big moment.
Won the championship in the USHL last year for the Fargo Force. He went 28-3 in the regular season, 9-3 in the playoffs. So he has championship pedigree.
Yeah, all four goaltenders in this Frozen Four, all USHL goaltenders. So certainly a development path.
Harris into the glove of Slukinski.
I think I just made up a word when talking about him, Butchie. I don't think cold-bloodedness is in the dictionary. Maybe.
I think that's okay. I think BU would accept that.
Yeah.
Maybe not Harvard.
Yeah, I heard Cav talking about figuring out where your classes were as a freshman and the student union and all that. And
yeah, you needed a GPS for that.
I don't think Cav and I were on the same plan apparently when we were at college.
Zeev Bouillon. Aiden Thompson, Blackhawk draft pick, number 7. Denver's a surgical group. They'll wait. King fires, blocked. Comes to Bouillon, settles the puck down, still spinning on him, and now he goes. This is what he does. The cross! Oh, he had a man on the doorstep. This is where Harris roams, right in front of the goalie. Thompson, skate blade to his stick. Bouillon with room. King across. Probably could have shot that puck. Good play by Devine. And then Washi clears it down.
Yeah, Western Michigan, they just protect the house so well. They don't let themselves get too stretched out. Even when Bouillon is roaming around on the power play, they are just so disciplined when they are around their net, and it has shown so far in this game.
Thompson has wheels, fires high and wide.
Bouillon still out on the ice. Going on about 3 straight minutes on the ice for Zeev Bouillon.
Better be careful now as the penalty comes to an end. He'll go change now as Western kills off the Denver power play. Just 2 shots on goal for the Pios. In the Frozen Four for the 6th time in their last 8 tournaments. Again, team of the decade, team of the century. They've won natties in 04, 05, 17, 22, 24. Of course, the 17 one was won by Jim Montgomery as head coach, who now is a coach here in St. Louis. There's David Carl. Montgomery got the job in Dallas after they won the 2017 national championship. He took over, and he has added to that national championship on their banner. They have all the banners here in St. Louis in the rafters. Denver, 1958, 60, 61, 68, 69, 04, 05, 17, 22, 24. The youngest D1 coach to win 2 natties. Of course, he'd be the youngest to win 3 and join an illustrious group with 3. Beautiful move. Reeder turns away. 5-on-5 hockey. Western Michigan for the first time in the Frozen Four.
Good stick there by Bump. This man-on-man coverage that Western is playing, giving Denver a little bit of trouble up at the top of the offensive zone. There's just no time and space.
Nice pass by Brown. It hops over the stick. It won't be icing because Lupinski came out to play it. Puck bounces high, stays in, off the glass. That's a penalty on Denver. Salmonen brought down the defenseman behind the net. Bison just grabbed his jersey and slightly tossed him down. That's going to be a holding penalty on Salmonen.
Denver penalty number 11, 2 minutes holding.
So time to shovel in St. Louis. And here's the penalty. David Carl does not like this. Holding is the call. Western had 5 shots on goal their last power play. The next one is next.
Coach, what needs to change right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think our message was we need to get our feet moving a little bit. Thought we created some turnovers in the first period. We weren't able to transition it. We're not moving our feet with and without the puck through transition, and that's something that needs to get better here in the second period.
Thank you.
David Carl did not like that penalty from Salmonen. So on the power play is Western Michigan. They had 5 shots on goal in their first one.
We know we have those lethal flanks for Western Michigan. Bump on his strong side, Valenti on his offside, both big-time options.
Here's Bump. He's been very comfortable in this game. That pass is too far for Valenti. Easy clear for Bouillon. Slow start to this power play for Western, but here they come. Heading north. Costantini to Bump. Avoids 2 Pioneers. Goes to Valenti, who can rip it. They'll go to Scholin. Bump downhill. Doesn't have a lane. Scholin fakes. Valenti's open. One-timer. Blocked.
Unlucky break for Denver to shoot that into the bench from their own zone. So this will go back into their own zone for this. But you know, we probably don't talk about Kent Anderson enough for Denver, who logs a lot of big-time minutes. He's not afraid to block shots. And when Western gets into their set and they start looking for those flanks, it can be a very dangerous look. This was their best opportunity, the one-timer, but Anderson, 21, just eating pucks as we saw him do in the regional.
Quick change for Pat Firstwater. Score! Brian Kramer, just his 2nd goal of the year. And the 24-year-old from Wexford, Pennsylvania, makes it 1-0. Western Michigan in their first Frozen Four.
Well, the Lawson Lunatics have come alive in this building. Keep an eye on Brian Kramer on the face-off. This is as clean a win as you could ask for. It's 1 step in. He's a left-handed shot, so his stick in his puck, it's to the middle, and he just beats Davis, who's out above the top of his crease. We haven't seen Davis get beat that clean. And that's meat and potatoes, power play stuff right there for the Western Michigan Broncos.
He's a Pittsburgh kid, and he is showing out in St. Louis. A year at Robert Morris, which is in Pittsburgh. Then off to AIC. And now Western. And here they come again. It's a power play goal for Western. The first by either team in this matchup this year. Shot into the right pectoral of Davis.
It is so important, Butchie, on a power play to win draws. I mean, that is the difference between a full 2 minutes and you know, killing off 20 or 30 seconds just chasing pucks. And that is just a perfectly executed draw by the captain, Tim Washy, number 16, and Brian Kramer just walks a step or two into the twisted wrister, and the tie has been broken.
That was an absolute pure face-off win. You don't see tape-to-tape face-off wins 25 feet diagonal like that a lot, and that's what that was. And that's, you got to get the puck up on Matt Davis. We've seen too much, Colby, of people trying to beat him low. It doesn't happen.
No, it does not happen. But how about Washy? He's a lefty.
Yes.
He's in the left circle. So it's a much harder face-off to win to the middle. That is a big-time play by the captain to win that draw like that. And that puck goes out of play. A lot of you probably wondering why not a penalty. That's not the rule in college, but there is no change. And keep an eye on that face-off. He pulls it through his legs on his backhand into the middle of the ice. 100% meant to do that, 100%.
Another face-off win. Shot blocked. Shot deflected wide. Ashcroft up the wall, but again, Western with that deep pressure. They've had 2 skaters deep all night long. And there's the goal scorer, Kramer. And back comes Western, heading north. Barely onside, very close. Knuble, Henricks. Henricks looking for the trailer. Quick shot! Deflected just wide. Knuble tried to deflect that. He might actually have blocked it. Him and Davis got there pretty much simultaneously. He will change.
Dan Capone made a nice play to stay on top of the crease and make sure there was no second or third opportunity.
Behind the play, here comes Harris. Shot, save. Boy, Sotinski's a smooth netminder. But Denver has it. Here's their chance. Deflected and Nearing with the puck. Valente, hesitation move, now stops, hesitates again. Cycles down towards Nearing, watched by Kent Anderson. Valente with the pressure, but a good job by Reeder to skate away from pressure. And Reeder does a nice job, the 19-year-old, to get it deep. Väisänen skates it up. The Finn still has it. Still has it to the net. Makes a move, puck is loose.
He's a smooth player, this Una Väisänen. When he gets the puck, he just moves with such ease. His hands operate with such ease. The Pittsburgh Penguins got to be happy with that draft choice because his skills are off the chart.
Bump in the air. Michaels knocks it down. Comes back to bump. Bump towards the net. Costantini tried to one-time it in front towards Michaels. Right, met there nicely by Bump. Costantini leaves it for Bump. He's got a man. Costantini fires! Logo save. Tipped in front. It's in! Is it in? Whistle blows. Western says goal. The call on the ice is no goal as the whistle blew.
Yeah, that's absolutely the right call by the officials. Whether the puck went in or not, you cannot pry the goaltender's pad into the net. That's an easy call for the officials. And they'll talk right now at center ice, and we're going to show it to you from the best angle right above Matt Davis. And you can see Singovi just pushing his pad.
The play is under officials' review.
Pushing his pad, and Matt Davis is holding both posts.
I don't think the puck went in anyway, but it's close. It's underneath Davis here.
Yeah, and they're going to have an official review here. The officials have the liberty to look at anything they want. It can be a challenge. And they're going to take a look at it. You want to make sure in a game like this.
Here it is again. At this point, the puck probably should be blown dead here. Then he's pitchforked in.
Which is never going to be a goal.
Correct.
And, you know, when the officials are looking for goaltender interference, which is what this would be, right? He's in the crease, and one of the first things they're looking for was the contact inside the crease. Yes, it was.
Here comes the call. This should be an easy one.
Yeah, this is going to be no goal.
After review, the call on the ice stands. We have no goal.
So the Hockey East officials efficient and quick to make that ruling.
Yeah, this all started with Great defensive zone posture, great neutral zone defensive posture by Western Michigan. Bump, he just holds the red line, he's got a good stick, and then just look how quick they get on the attack. And that's what this whole game has been about. Western has been so stubborn. They refuse to give Denver room inside the dots in the neutral zone, and they've done a phenomenal job of holding the red.
One of the best student sections in America. The Lawson Lunatics have traveled well. The school stepped up. If you wanted to be here, they took care of you.
Awesome stuff.
The new rink is slowly under construction. It's going to be an absolute beauty, over $500 million. Should be open in 2 years. Again, since the third period of the NCAA Conference Championship game between these two, Pat Ferschweiler and Western Michigan have completely dominated this matchup.
You know, you just have one team right now with Western that's skating. And Pat Ferschweiler told Quint that. And then David Carl told Quint the same thing. We're not skating, and that is exactly what it looks like. As basic as that seems, that is the tale of this hockey game so far.
50-50 face-off, fished out by Neri. Comes Lukinski, quick save Davis. Puck is loose again. Western keep putting the puck in dangerous situations. Valente shot, deflected! It's between Davis's legs. Does not know where it is. Looked behind him, couldn't feel it, but he froze and got the whistle.
Yeah, Matt Davis was tracking this puck to come up into his chest, and you can see 23 Liam Valente actually puts it off of his teammate, and that puck gets through Davis's legs, and he just uses his feet to kind of close up the hole, make sure that's shored up. That is big time reaction by Matt Davis.
Hit the left shoulder of Slukinski after it got deflected off the Valente shot. And man, he just closed that 5-0. Another face-off win by Western. Valente, another quick shot, another awkward save by Davis.
By the way, Butchie, my mom texted me. She said cold-bloodedness is a word.
Yeah,
she looked it up. She sent me the definition, so it got cleared back at home by mom.
Upon further review, Mrs. Cohen says that's a good word. And she points to center ice.
Even if it wasn't, she would have had my back. So.
Western, they have that look in their eyes in this game today. They've been all over the defending national champions. 16 new players, 6 transfers, like the man taking the faceoff, Slukinski from Northern Michigan, 10 freshmen. Yet Pat Ferschweiler has molded a conference championship team, a regular season championship team, their first of any kind in school history, going back to their CCHA days. It's been a historic season for Western. And they have shown no nerves in their first Frozen Four. And now Denver, which they normally do the last few years, is find a way to tie this game and get this game settled. This will be icing. We mentioned the transfers. 6 transfers for Western. The Slukinski brothers, they're all set to go to Northern Michigan, but Grant Petolny leaves over the summer. Suddenly, the players jump in the portal, and Ferschweiler and Western Michigan get both brothers. Grant, who's been an excellent second-line center with 10 goals. Hampton, who wasn't the starting goaltender to begin the year, became that, and look at his regional stats, and he's been perfect so far in light action tonight, 6 for 6.
Yeah, Western Michigan has become a free agent destination, or a transfer portal destination, I guess would be the better term for it.
Already doing some action as we speak.
Yeah, Pat Ferschweiler and his staff doing a phenomenal job of just reloading year after year. They've been losing guys to the NHL. He's been building this program, and don't be surprised if he's interviewing for NHL head coaching jobs. I can think of a few where he'd fit in pretty nicely.
He has that pedigree. He's been an assistant for the Red Wings for a while with Jeff Blashill, the former Western Michigan head coach, now in Tampa, an assistant for John Cooper.
And a former line mate to Flyers president Keith Jones.
Yes. The Western Michigan
royalty. Keith Jones, that's right.
Here comes Michaels. Michaels shot, saved. It's loose. Another big save by Matt Davis. Another block shot by Jack Devine. Davis is keeping Denver in this game single-handedly. Thompson throws it around. Bisoning just can't keep it in. delayed offside, but Denver will take it.
It's a 2-on-4 though. There's just no room.
Pass shot, oh, just wide. What a chance by Thompson. An absolute dime from Jack Devine.
Jack Devine making me eat my words there.
Has it again, but hops over his stick. Kramer. Back goes Western. Washi, bump. Shingovi out there now. Bump. Cycles back down to Kramer. Bump will go change. That allows Hakarainen to come on the ice and join his line of Shingovi and Washi. This is a big, strong, mean line. Net topples over on top of Davis, but goes right back on its pegs. We're not in Manchester anymore. Right! Saves Lukinski, who covers up. Jared Wright almost went under the right armpit of Hampton Lukinski. Oh, the Lawson Lunatics are feeling it. Brian Kramer off the clean face-off win from Washi with the only goal of the game. 1-0 Western. 2004 semifinals continue with game 2. Penn State faces Boston University as the Terriers arrive. That's right after our game. Head coach Jay Pandolfo has led BU to the Frozen Four in his first 3 years as the head coach. There's Jay. He also is 4 for 4 as a player at BU.
Yeah, BU has not seen this many consecutive trips since he was a player in the mid-90s. Jay Pandolfo, that is.
Denver outshot in the first period, 12-3, 12-4 here in the second. Valente. Onside, Lukinski now is called offside. Nearing was a bit too anxious. Beautiful night in St. Louis, 64 degrees as the sun sets. We saw BU coming in to the rink, going up against Penn State. The Nittany Lions, like the Broncos, their first trip to a Frozen Four. Guy Gadowski, the head coach of Penn State. Both the fan bases of BU and Penn State now slowly entering Enterprise Center. Had their dinner for the night. Face off just outside the Denver zone, won by the Pioneers. Garrett Brown. Winnipeg Jet 4th round pick. Heads it up north. Lukinski leaves it. Krusberg-Rosine, nice short 6-foot pass to Lukinski, who gets it back. Pass across. Dangle around, fakes in front, and goes begging. Boy, Valente had a chance, but he must have been sealed off with everything from Davis. Waited and then got nothing out of it. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Shot saved by Davis again on Cam Knuble. 2 more grade A chances for Western.
Well, and these are 200-foot type of chances. Watch the beautiful little slip breakout pass by Krusberg-Rosine. That is a small little play that gets Western into space and creates all sorts of problems for the Denver forecheck, and that's when the melee ensued, and Western Michigan had a couple of opportunities come off that, and there's the Ranger draft pick Ty Hendricks for Western Michigan.
Yeah, number 17 right there, top of the circle. However, good face-off win by the veteran Connor Capone, the 5th-year Pioneer. See if he can get some offense going for his squad. Nice little slap pass by Sharp, and suddenly the pressure's gone. Hendricks. Knocked down by Polkamp. He can deliver. 23.
That's a good, clean hockey hit.
Zidlowski wraparound attempt denied. Now the Pioneers head north. Fisher gets it in deep. Knocked down nicely to Renz, throws it back in behind the net. Denver's kind of changing, so again, space for Western. Here come the Pios now with some numbers. Lorenz. This was the line that scored both goals in the national championship win over Boston College. Lorenz, Wright, Sebrian. Big, heavy line. This time of year, Denver can lean on.
I don't know how it looks up there for you, Butchie, but you know, down here at ice level, it looks like there's 6 players on the ice.
It does.
6 skaters on the ice at all times for Western Michigan.
William was awkwardly hit in the ankle as he went to get that puck, and he slowly gets up. That did not look good.
Yeah, he's laboring getting to the bench.
Now he'll try to defend, and that's backhand into the Western bench. And Z. William, as he went to the boards, that ankle awkwardly pinned in the hard forecheck of the Broncos.
Yeah, it looked like there was some action on the back of his leg. Look at that left leg as Singothi just goes in to finish his check. You know, there's nothing malicious about that play. Bouillon is just spinning out of trouble, and you gotta hope Zeev Bouillon's gonna be all right. He's such an important player for his team and has such a bright future. He'll be playing for the Minnesota Wild the minute Denver season ends, if it's tonight, if it's Saturday.
And when you're so nimble like him, you can take hits like that. Supposed to go back to the great Bobby Orr, and that's what happened to him. All those knee shots he took, because he was just so much better than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, Boston College, they had a mandate in the regional final to finish every hit on Zeev Bouillon, and he was still the best player on the ice.
All right, so he'll shake that off. He'll be back out there. Krusberg, Rosine, nice blocker save from Davis. Pull down, no arms in the air. Play continues. Shot, score! Michaels, his 15th goal of the year. It looked like it might have been a Western penalty, not called. An odd man situation, and that was another absolute howitzer. Devine screaming at the officials looking for a penalty.
Yeah, so many of these hockey games come down to board battles. Who is going to be the team to take care of the puck when it's on the yellow? And I got to tell you, that is the right no call. And you love the patience by Owen Michaels, number 34 in white. He takes that extra second, Butchie, just to make sure the puck is flat on his stick and just wires that one by Matt Davis. And I look down the bench the minute Western scored that goal. Pat Ferschweiler as stoic as ever.
That is his demeanor. It's time optional for the Western coaching staff, and you wonder if that's on purpose, to have a relaxed, calm atmosphere. And Davis, we talked about it. If you're going to beat him, you've got to beat him high glove. And tonight, Western has beaten him high glove twice.
What a shot by Owen Michaels, the sophomore. Look how he just waits that extra second. That puck goes between the shoulder and the ear. And this was absolutely the right no call by the officials. There is not enough there to call that on Alex Bump. So a good play all around for Western and a 2-0 lead for the Broncos.
That's a gigantic goal. It's been so hard for Denver just to get a shot on goal, much less a goal. And now they'll need at least 2 the rest of the way. Under 5 to go in the second period. Denver is going to have to muster up all their championship fiber here.
And they have it.
No doubt about that.
That's the thing. Denver can change this game in an instant. Zeev Bouillon can change this game in an instant. There is no such thing as this Denver Pioneer team being out of a hockey game.
But they have been overwhelmed from the get-go. Bouillon turned down, still no arms in the air.
I think he just toe picked. That was right in front of me.
Yep, there comes Aiden Thompson. Thompson ends up getting the pass from himself. But again, such quick exits by Western all night long. Henricks goes against the grain. Knuble forechecks. Back come the Pios. What kind of adjustment can David Carl make to try to get offense, Colby?
I think you got to start sending your wingers.
Breakaway! Washi! Save Davis. He tried to go low, and Davis denied the 5-hole.
Yeah, right now, Denver, as this puck's going to go down for an icing, they're trying to skate through the neutral zone. They're a team that creates a lot of offense by getting guys like Devine and Thompson going through into the neutral zone. So if you're Denver, you got to stretch out, stretch back Western. But you also got to be careful of the quick transition, the dime of a pass by Brian Kramer and Tim Washi, a guy who has 16 goals this year, 8 of them. And I repeat, 8 of them are game-winning goals.
Again, going back to the third period of the tournament championship game, look at the shot on goal disparity and the goal disparity, which is the most important one. That's a hooking penalty. Hakkarainen says he squeezed my stick and pulled it down, but I think Denver was owed a penalty, quite frankly. They've been knocked down a few times in this period.
And the first time we've seen a lot of emotion out of Pat
Western
Ferschweiler.
Michigan penalty number 22, 2 minutes hooking.
Very unhappy with that call. And when we come back, we're going to see the Denver power play, but Western Michigan with the 2-0 lead.
Penn State Nittany Lions looking on. Like Western, their first trip to a Frozen Four. They're excited. Aiden Fink, you see him right there with a hoodie on. He's the Predators' 7th round pick. Their best offensive player, Eero Hakkarainen, in the box. A 21-year-old Finn will watch and hope his teammates can kill this penalty and keep this 2-goal lead. You want this 2-goal lead, obviously, for as long as you can keep it.
Keep an eye on the movement up top. That's where Denver's bread and butter comes from.
And their most dangerous goal scorer on the power play is number 12, Sam Harris. And it comes to him. Puck is bouncing. He settles it and has it. King has room. Back towards Bullion. Kept it in on the blue paint. Devine, the nation's leading point scorer. Number 4 to Bullion. Devine. Sukinski can't see around Harris. Gives him a poke in the back. Aiden Thompson likes to go downhill and rip it. Number 7 wants it back. Bullion goes to Devine. Harris again, top of the crease. Thompson, King, good stick. Kramer's had a big game tonight, number 14. Steal, Washi. Davis comes out. Head always in the game. Sends it to Thompson. Western will change with fresh penalty killer.
Too much up high for Denver. I know that's where they like to play, but they're just not having success. They got to work the puck down to the goal line. They got to look for a jam play and just simplify things.
Beautiful play, Devine, but a good stick. Costantino, short-handed. Saved by Davis. It's loose. Costantino saved by Davis's right arm. Power play continues for Denver.
Another good stick by Constantini there.
Matteo Constantini out of Ontario. Sukinski able to bother Harris enough to get it out of pressure. Under 20 seconds left. Bullion still out there. Devine still out there. Thompson still out there. Fresh skater. And here comes Washi again. Washi over the net. He missed low, he missed high. 2 breakaways and the latter parts of this second period.
Put you on that last one. Denver didn't even have 5 guys out on the ice.
Bump! Saved by Davis.
Western Michigan keeping the momentum as they kill off the penalty. The first one, Matteo Costantini with a breakaway. Matt Davis, just the strength of his lower body. Not 1, but 2 chances for 25 and white. Look at that push and that elevation by the goaltender for Denver. And then it was Washi just driving through. Sorry, that's the Alex Bump look at the end. And it is all Western Michigan right now.
Washi shaking his head. They outshot Denver on that Pioneer power play, 3-2. Bumps had a great game, number 20. He has it again, shot. Look for that bad angle high shot. Visinen kept it on the blue paint, barely kept it in. Costantini behind the net. 69 seconds left in the second period. Bump. Bouncing towards the net. Ashcroft. Lorenz, Bump had him lined up. Lorenz saw him coming. Michaels, who has scored in this period. That's barely onside. Good call by the Hockey East linesman. As Michaels waited for the puck, and there is an offside there with 46.7 to go. It's been a historic season for Western Michigan. They've won a program best 32 games. Again, regular season champs, conference champs, Pat Ferschweiler. The W in Western is wagging right now, Colby. They've been going since the new year, and they are built in that guy's image. You mentioned calm, confident, the alum, and And they're playing like he coaches.
Yeah, I think you gave a stat off the top of the show today, the game. They've won 21 of their last 24 games. That is dominance down a difficult stretch, a difficult playoff run, a difficult regional.
Turnover in front. The puck is loose. Denver's trying to fish it out. Nearing can't chop it out. The Pios would love to get a goal right here late in the second, down by 2. Kramer settles it and chops it into the crowd.
This is going to make you a little nervous.
Yes.
If you're the Western Michigan coaching staff, you get an opportunity and Kramer just gets his pocket pick behind the net. And here comes James Reeder just sniffing. That's kind of what we talked about. Denver's got to just start taking pucks to the net. It's been all perimeter. They've looked for the pretty passing plays, and it just has not been there for the Pios.
Last shot from our ref cam. We have a linesman and a referee wearing a camera. It's mounted right on their sternum, giving you those beautiful, clear shots here in St. Louis.
Watch Polkamp here, 23.
Yeah, he got a bomb. There's the cam right there, you see?
This guy right here, that's who they're looking for.
Yes, one-time bomb shot, but Western fishes it out. Scholin can't get it out. Bouillon gloves it. Beautiful between the leg pass. Fisher shot into the glove of the 19-year-old Hampton Slutinski.
That was a difficult save. A lot of traffic, but watch the poise by Z Bouillon. Just draws Hakkarainen up to the point and has the wherewithal to go back through his legs at the top of the blue line. Not a play you see happen quite often, and the officials over at the penalty box discussing something with
Probably the clock, just to make sure with 8.3 to go. Every 10th of a second counts, obviously, in this situation at the end of a period.
We're going to check the correct time on the clock.
You could hear, you heard the great ESPN audio. We have microphones all over Enterprise Center. The sounds of hockey are some of the best. So they're going to make sure to see if they add anything to 8.3. Denver has not won a game this year when trailing after 2. 0-6-1. Western 26-2. As David Carl looks on, and he's one of the best in-game adjustment coaches in the country.
He's got an iPad for a brain.
Left in the second period.
So we're gonna
0.3 they took off,
Okay.
and you've got Polkamp and Bouillon on the ice together, which you don't always see, and they're both lefty-righty combo on their offside. So again, if Salmonen can win this draw, 23 on the edge of the circle, he's got a howitzer of a one-timer.
Washi, Salmonen, eyeball to eyeball. Washi wins it. He broke the Stickles down, but Denver has it. They'll have a chance for a shot. To the front of the net. And the buzzer sounds, ending the second period.
Boy, Washi's a good face-off man, isn't he, Butchie?
NHL scouts in attendance watching this big, strong NHL free agent number 16.
These face-offs become so important. Look how he snaps it back. He snaps Salmonen's stick. He wins that face-off for the goal earlier in the period. Tim Washi, Butchie, boy, was he good.
Yeah, he's on the Sean Richland wrist curl program. 50 sets of 50, just like Richie Arda. Colby Cohen, how does Denver, Matt Carl, again, David Carl, brother of Matt, former Hobie Baker winner, he's the king of adjustments.
Well, look, he talked
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, he talked to me before the game about wanting to play back ice, wanting to put pucks behind the defensive group for the Western Michigan Broncos, and they have not managed the puck well through the neutral zone. So if you're Denver, I think you start stretching out your wingers, push the defense, push the neutral zone forward stack across the red line back as much as you can, and you might have to just get gritty. You might have to dump pucks. You might have to go for some rims, and Denver's going to have to generate things off their forecheck. They have not done that well in this hockey game, and again, credit Western. They've smothered them in the neutral zone. They've had great sticks defensively, and they've outskated the Pioneers for the first 40 minutes.
Boy, that close-up from director Bob Frateroli of David Carl, that looked like a man with no answers. I mean, that was a face that was searching and like, I got nothing. This team is overwhelming us. So Momentum can change quickly in a hockey game. We know this. This is an emotional game driven by emotions.
Yeah, you need a guy like Zeev Buium to just make a play, right? This puck was played with a high stick.
That bump should have left that puck alone. Quint Kesnick ringside with us tonight.
Expect a surge, the words of Dallas Ferguson, assistant coach for Denver, saying to me, well, our group of 5, the guys on the ice, just have to play harder, win more 50-50s, and play more connected. He needs to see a sense of urgency. He says our season is on the line.
Yeah, Quinn, I have not seen that connectivity that we're used to seeing from Denver, and that all stems from guys like Thompson and Devine just trying to skate through the neutral zone. And the Western Michigan Broncos, they just stay above the puck, they wait at the red line, and then they attack with their sticks. So you're right, they gotta get together, they gotta make short plays, they gotta look for chips off the boards. It's just gonna have to be down and dirty because Western Michigan just doesn't seem willing to budge an inch.
Dallas Ferguson and Tavis McMillan have been with David Carl every step of the way. Great continuity in the coaching staff as Carl began his coaching career as a young man.
And here go the wingers. This is what we just talked about. It's a turnover, but the Denver wingers were flying the zone. Look at King out waiting past the red line. This is what Denver's got to do.
So they're going to try to stretch things out here.
You have to.
Yeah. Could be susceptible to an odd man rush. Redirection save by Slutinski. Oh my goodness. And once again it's Polkamp smacking the glass on his way by. Frustrated that he has a grade A chance.
Yeah, Polkamp, who starts this whole thing out below his goal line, just keep skating, right? We haven't seen the Pios skate enough, and Thompson just threads a seam play to 23 in red. Eric Polkamp, the offensive defenseman who had a big-time goal for his team at the regionals, just keeps going.
Man, that rough cam is awesome.
It really is a good shot, isn't it?
Goodness.
You see the chaos that
Yes.
really is out on the ice, especially on draws.
Davis whacks it away from Hakkarainen. So let's see if Denver, in this adjustment Colby talked about, can start to create some flow, some offense, and some really persistent offensive zone time. They haven't done that all night.
I just have a hard time imagining Denver not having a push.
Right.
You know, he said to Quint, Tavis, or Dallas Ferguson, expect a surge. Well, you would expect to see a big push here to start this third period.
So again, the Western Michigan dominance since the third period of the NCHC championship. I mean, that is stark. That includes 2 overtime periods, 2 full periods here today, and a minute 36 into the third. Turnover. Lorenz scored a big goal in the Natty last year. Good back pressure by Sidlowski, and he'll skate it out of trouble. Garrett Sidlowski, the 22-year-old freshman. Knuble now battles with Brown. Western likes to defend with the puck. If they have the puck at this end of the ice for most of the third, things could look good for them. Bump taken down. No arms in the air. Play continues. First line for Western slowly changing on the ice. Michaels and Bump already out there. Costantini now joins them.
You see how Sebrian just puts that puck behind the net, but there's no help. In Western Michigan, they're able to just rim that puck around the yellow. You know, Krusberg-Rosine just makes a simple play, and it just defeats the entire Denver forecheck. They've established nothing through 2 periods. I'm really shocked.
Save Davis, it's underneath him! Still out. Another block shot. Here come the Pios now. King, Thompson. The big boys are out there. Thompson with good wheels. Polkamp's opening up. Booyam! Shake and bake. Fire! Saves Lukinski. Frustration incorporated for Denver right now.
You see Matt Davis just taking a deep breath, and you don't see him lose track of the puck often. He just could not find it, and gets a little help from his defenders. You see the puck just sitting in the blue paint as Jack Devine was the first Denver Pioneer back into the zone.
It's the second time these two teams had met in an NCAA tournament. The last one, 2011. Pioneers won in Green Bay, Wisconsin in the Midwest Regional. Going back to last year, this is the first time Denver has allowed 2 goals in an NCAA tournament game. Shut out Boston College in the national championship last year, and then it's been all 1-goal games in all their other wins. 4 wins last year, 2 so far this year. They'll need to come from behind. Here's a turnover, but excellent support. Squirts in front. Jake Fisher had a shot. Quick shot deflected wide. Denver needs to slowly get back in this game. Henricks now. And again, when in doubt, they will go north. You won't see side-to-side turnovers from Western. They're not going to make it easier for Denver. Canoodle battles. The rangy Henricks in there. Michaels takes a high hit. Penalty coming up. This could be a high stick on Denver. That stick was up near the chin of Owen Michaels. And to the box go the Pioneers again.
Well, Butchie, was great communication from the officials as we're about to hear exactly what the call was.
Denver, number 13.
Boom, right there.
Minor penalty, high sticking.
Pope in the cage.
3 times the official yelled, careful, careful. Our ESPN ice mics picked it up. And that's all you can ask for from an official, is to communicate with you throughout a game. And they're a very experienced reffing crew at making sure that they are communicating. So you can't say they weren't warned on that one.
Western could put the nail in the coffin right here with a power play goal. They've won every race and they've won just about every battle.
Denver penalty number 13, Hagen Burrows.
Burrows in the box. Valente.
Penalty 416. Burrows.
Jolin.
2 minutes. High sticking at 416.
Off the glass and into the crowd. Deflect is going to stay in the Denver end here as Bump has had his chances. Third power play for Western. They've had 6 shots on goal. 6 of their 34. Again, David Carl knows this is a moment in the game where he needs a kill.
Michaels, the center, just moves Sam Scholin, the defenseman, more to the middle. Wonder if that was something drawn up.
Another battle won. Bump. Scholin has Valente. Passes a little behind him. Couldn't one-time it. Michaels in front of Davis. One-timer. Short side. It was wide. Plenty of room to clear. Kent Anderson with the clear. Here comes Sam Scholin, 23-year-old Swede.
This top power play unit for Western, they're so disciplined about changing. You see Denver's top unit, they're 2 minutes on the ice. The top unit for Western, they get off after 45, 50 seconds. You don't see that. A sign of a really bought-in team.
Visinen. Slukinski. Grant Slukinski. His brother's the goalie. Grant. Pass. Shot. Deflects behind the net. Kramer got in on him and he heeled it wide. Kramer got the first goal of the game, the defenseman number 14. He stays out there. Visinen the other defenseman. Second unit, 2 defenseman power play. Up 2-0. First 5 minutes are gone in this final frame. 5 minutes at a time for Western to win their first Frozen 4 game in their first try. Washi has been a beast on the wall. Nearing hit the crossbar early. His teammates had his back. They're still up 2-0 here in the third. Shot, save Davis. Puck deflects in front, glove down calmly. Good play by Lorenz, and Sebrian clears it down the ice. So back to 5-on-5. Hagen Burrows out of the box.
It's a good kill by Denver. They didn't give up really any grade A opportunities.
No shots on goal at all for the Broncos that time. But they did kill 2 minutes. It's a race against time for Denver. This has been their best period of the season. They've been a very good third period team, outscoring their opponents 57-32. They need one soon. They've been a little better this period. Here they come. Block, score! Aiden Thompson, 21st goal of the year. The champions are not on the mat yet.
Well, this is just good fortune for the Denver Pioneers, who take the momentum of killing off a Western Michigan power play. We said there would be no quit in this team, and it's one of the first shifts where Denver has possessed the puck, and they've had patience, and they've had second opportunities to the net. And Aiden Thompson, who's been a big-time goal scorer for this Pioneers all-team all season long, just continues to track the puck. He flubs onto the first shot, and that's one of the reasons why after you shoot the puck, you never want to peel away. You stay on top of it, you get a bounce, and all of a sudden, we got a 2-1 hockey game.
It's a natural hockey reaction after a goal. A team has jump, and Denver has jump. Shot just wide. Salmonen, traffic in front of Slukinski. Pat Ferschlader, usually very quiet and calm. He was clapping hard, slapping his guys on the bench. He's trying to keep them going with the same method they had to get to the 2-0 point. Offside at the line, Denver. Aiden Thompson began the season with a 14-game point streak. He's in his third year with the Broncos. He's 23 years old. He's one of their leaders, and he has them within one. Penn State and BU is game 2 tonight. The first trip ever to the Frozen Four for the Penn State Nittany Lions. The BU Terriers, familiar area for them. Jay Pandolfo's family said, we're not going to fly out for game 1. You keep losing game 1, Jay, the last couple of years. You win tonight, we'll fly out tomorrow.
And congratulations to Jay's son, Sam Pandolfo.
Yes.
Just came out today. He made the U.S. National Development Team. That's a huge step in a young man's hockey career, along with other BU legend Freddie Meyer's son.
That was 2009 birth years, that team. Chance Jay could coach his son one day. Didn't seem too excited about that. A little reticent. We'll see.
Get in trouble with the wife pretty quick if the ice time's not good, right?
But if your boy's good, you gotta use him.
I know. You're gonna have a lot of second generation Terriers coming down the pike.
Yeah, Teddy Donato had that feeling with Ryan at Harvard, but then his David Quinn, the former BU coach, said, you gotta get him. He's good. The idea is to get good players. He did, and Ryan went to a Frozen Four in 2017 with his dad as the head coach.
I'm sure Quinny would have been happy to take Ryan Donato at BU all those years ago.
Absolutely. And that was that year that Ryan and Teddy made the Frozen Four that Denver won the national championship under Jim Montgomery. So let's see if Western can get their dominance back and get that north game back, that defend with the puck game back. And let's see how Denver continues to try to dissect this game and get it tied. We have a hockey game suddenly.
Yeah, they're doing a better job, Denver, the last couple of minutes.
Watch out! Across! What a defensive play by Scholand!
Wingers are stretching out the neutral zone. That's allowing Denver to get in between the layers of this neutral zone coverage by Western Michigan, and we've seen some flashes of Denver creating turnovers on the forecheck.
Devine's had a good game setting up people. Thompson can't tee it up. Scholand, turnover, Thompson again. So suddenly puck management by Western Michigan's not quite as crisp as it was. So suddenly Pat Ferschlader and his Western staff have to start coaching now and figure something out. It was on cruise control for the first 2 periods. They had very little to worry about. The boys were on their toes and going like this, creating the turnover. Bump, bump, stripped from behind beautifully. Here comes Fisher. That was James Reeder with the gorgeous stick play. Sharp. You heard the referee, I'll play the puck. That was almost a hold on Sharp. Midway through the third period. David Carl told us he thought this would be a 2-1 game yesterday. It's a 2-1 game. Now he hopes it's a 3-2 game with his side winning. Those 2 won't be enough for Denver. That's a nice breakout by Denver. They haven't had many tonight. Now they need offensive zone time. That looked like it was onside, but called offside at the line. Rieger Lorenz. 9:47 to go. All it takes is one to get some hope. All it takes is one to get some energy. And Aiden Thompson, with his 21st of the year, follows his own shot and gives the Pioneers the hope they were looking for. (2-1) Western Michigan with 9:47 to go in the third period. John Butchergross, Kobe Cohen, Quinn Kesnick here in St. Louis. Game one of our doubleheader. Boston University and Penn State follow. Thompson, Shingothi battling for position. Every inch of the ice matters here in the final 9:47. Denver wins the faceoff. Now they go on the attack, and the Pioneers get on the ground game here and get some cycle play. Krusberg-Rosine, beautiful stick play to steal it.
He's been good for Western as this one just goes up into the Denver bench, but that's number 3 for Western Michigan, just having a real solid game. And there's a look at the potential Hobie Baker winner, which we'll find out tomorrow. And there's a look at Zeeve's parents, who have to be proud watching their son. Last year they got to watch both their boys win a national championship. And will this be Zeeve's last game, and will they be watching him play for the Minnesota Wild in the next couple of days?
Yeah, his brother Shai is in the Red Wing organization for Grand Rapids. He won a national championship last year with his brother in St. Paul and then turned pro. Southern California product, the Booyah boys. San Diego. Lorenz throws it. Too firm, it got by Brown. This game certainly is about parents and moms and dads who've been watching these young men since they were 5, 6, 7 years old as mites and squirts and peewees. Turnover! Shot! Oh, they couldn't tee it up. Sebrian off of Slukinski, almost banked it in from behind the net. Western's in trouble again. Denver keeps it in. And this game has turned with one Aiden Thompson goal. As we said, they were changing the momentum before that. Shot just inches wide from Salmon, and Booyah creates it. Booyah has it back, working on Bump, goes around Bump, send it across.
Eyes up, here, eyes up.
It is now Denver's game. They have taken it away from Western and now have 8:20 to tie it up. Can the 19-year-old netminder, Hampton Slukinski, stand tall in net? They'll need him down the stretch. Smart play by Hakkarainen to go towards the wall. They want to make Denver earn it. No neutral zone turnovers. Western style of play allows for that. Funny how one goal can make a team faster, Colby.
Yeah, absolutely. The momentum of this game. This is the big push that we expected to see early in the first period, but puck's just going Denver's way, partly because they're getting through the neutral zone, stretching their wingers out. And right now, we've seen 4 or 5 chances for the Pioneers. They were all generated, Butchie, off of their forecheck.
Western doesn't have a shot on goal yet here in the third period. Here they come, though. Nearing. That looked offside. Onside. Shot into the glove of Davis.
And Zeev Booyah just doing some Zeev Booyah types of things leads to a couple of big chances. The first one, unable to handle that puck here in Sebrian. And then Zeev Booyah just asserting some dominance, and Salmonen with the look towards the net, just a seeing eye shot.
Face off one by Western. Kramer gets it down low towards Grant Slukinski. Makes a nice play to get away from Polkamp, but Polkamp gets it back, and that breakout's a little too far, but won't be icing. Krusberg-Rosine will flip it high in the air. Slukinski, blind pass towards the middle, intercepted. Slukinski gets it back, but again, passes aren't getting through. Just a different puck management situation for Western right now.
There's a smart play there by Jack Devine to hold up. And he goes through with that hit.
That would have been a hit from behind.
Absolutely.
Under 7 to go. David Carl waving north. Get up the ice. We have them on their heels. Jake Fisher. Let's go Broncos is the chant. Kalamazoo crowd trying to root their boys on. Ooh. Nice big hit there by the veteran Connor Capone in his 5th year with the Pios. Game number 185, a school record. Ashcroft rips it in. Denver's changing, so Bump has room. Sends it across, but again, that's a dangerous play. Bad bounce, turn into a Denver chance for a moment. Again, another souvenir. Caught by the fellow in the Paul Correa jersey. Frozen Four continues, game 2, Penn State, BU. An hour after this game ends, right here on ESPN2. For more information, NCAA.com. Your official home of all 90 NCAA championships.
I am not expecting a 2-1 game in the late game, Butchie. I think you'll see a little more of an open style game. Two teams that'll really try to get up and down the ice. That's BU and Penn State, which we'll have in our game at 8:30 Eastern. Or 1 hour after this game ends,
yep.
I should add. Programming note.
Right. I think we'll go past that by a touch. Already 7:25 Eastern, and we still got 5:48 to go. Back to the point. Here's Booyah. To the net, blocked. Nice tip up, I've got a man ahead, but Bump fell down. But he still has it. Michaels to the net. Area pass, Booyah gets it out of trouble. Lukinski would throw it back in and try to keep the puck in the Denver end. Bump didn't stumble, you would have had a breakaway. Lukinski to Kramer. Eye off the glass and out. I don't think Western's had an icing yet in this game.
Maybe one, but you're right. They've managed the puck really well.
We'll see down the stretch if they take a couple with some pressure. 5 minutes left in the third. Slukinski with the pressure. Devine between the legs. Here comes Thompson, the goal scorer. Looks over his shoulder. Has nothing. Across! Oh, holy shnikes. He had King to the net.
Yeah, he was sniffing around the back door there, King. He's dangerous.
Denver, their transition game is on point right now. The Denver Pioneers looking for back-to-back championships and the rarefied air of 3 and 4 years. The time is now, 4:40 left. Pat Ferschweiler, what's the bench been like down there, Quinn Kesnick?
Well, Pat Ferschweiler just pacing and not bringing the team together as a group. Basically, the players just very much in their own little world. So I was just surprised, Colby, to see them not get together as a group.
It's his style. He likes to let the leaders lead. He feels that his team is very well prepared. They know the assignments on face-offs, and they understand you're under 5 minutes here, and it's time to live to fight another day.
They're playing with fire. They're not getting pucks deep. Not quite getting those 2 or 3 passes to get the puck down to 200 feet. And Denver now just trying to beat time.
Steve William will probably play 3 of the next 4 minutes to finish this game.
Denver has their timeout. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on Davis around the 2-minute mark or just prior. It'll depend on the personnel and the face-off situation. Michaels, good back pressure. He's had a goal in this game. Michaels 34 and Kramer 14, the 2 goals for Western. Aiden Thompson scored for Denver to give them hope. What a beautiful stick play by Reeder. King was changing, or they could have had maybe a 2-on-1. He was out of gas. Ashcroft whacks it up, and now easy exits for Denver.
And if you're Denver, probably the 2.5-minute mark, you start looking for the goaltender.
Yep, right personnel, right place of the ice. David Carl won't wait too long. Bump around Brown. Good play by Garrett Brown, the 21-year-old Winnipeg Jet draft. The Bump has it back. Give and goes. Lukinski denied. Puck is still bouncing in front of Davis, but Brown has it. Soft up. Good step-up play there by Kramer.
He's been really solid for his team. Yeah, he gets the big goal, but
Yeah, he's 24 years old and playing like a veteran.
absolutely.
3 minutes left in regulation. Good play by the Broncos to get it out. Neary and Valente wants to change. Short shifts for the Broncos. Everyone's on their feet. The Bronco bench, the Pioneer bench. William shakes. Just wide, side of the net. Watch out for Polkamp. Save, it's loose, it's in! It's in! We're tied! We are tied! Rieger Lorenz saves the day for Denver.
Well, this play all starts with the brilliance on the entry by Zeev Buium. Butchie, you nailed it perfectly as 28 danced into the offensive zone, created some discomfort for Western, and then Polkamp.
Whoa.
Big number 23 with the big time slap shot. There's the beautiful entry.
We might look at this goal.
Absolutely.
Little goalie push with the stick right there.
And remember, in college hockey, you use your challenge.
Michigan is challenging the goal for goaltender interference.
Western Michigan is challenging.
If you're wrong on your challenge, you do not go shorthanded. You just lose your timeout. And as these officials head in to the box to look at this for goaltender interference, they're trying to decide, was the contact inside the blue paint?
I think the issue is much like the Denver goal where they shoved Davis. I don't think it's the same. I think this goal will count, Colby, but I think that's what they're looking at. As the puck, that's okay there.
Yes, Lukinski's outside the blue paint.
That's
where
fine.
he touches the puck right there. He's outside the blue paint. Then he folds back in
This is
as
the
this
challenge.
puck gets pushed. The puck to me was never frozen. I think this is a good goal for Denver because I don't think Lukinski ever had this puck completely frozen. That is a beautiful look on your screen as the puck bobbles back into Jared Wright.
But was his pad pushed?
And you can still see daylight on this goal.
Yeah.
I think this is a good goal for Denver. Remember, on the ice, this is called a good goal. So it has to be conclusive for them to turn this back over.
You see how close our referee was to blowing it dead. He started sprinting because he did lose sight of it.
Yeah.
But his instincts were correct. The puck was bouncing. Now, again, like Colby mentioned, Pat Ferschwaller is going to challenge this because he only loses the timeout.
Absolutely, it's a no-brainer.
And these are all subjective for the most part.
It has to be conclusive. It has to be obvious for them to turn this over. One of the questions that the officials are talking about right now is, was the contact initiated? Did the contact have an impact on the goalie's ability to make a save?
Right there. There's a lot of contact there. Now I look at it again,
And
Colby.
that's what they're going to look at. But again, I do not think this puck was ever completely frozen. And that is why I believe that, to go along with the fact that the call was a good goal, that this will stand.
But don't you think that's not the issue, frozen or not, Colby? It's, do they make contact with Sukinski, his body in any way as he's trying to cover the puck?
Yeah, but I think he did get puck.
And of course, that's hard to see because the puck was under him. But again, your point, it was Ruda goal, so they need a lot to take it away. This is obviously a gigantic review with 2:39 to go. That's why it's taking time, because they're thinking about it. It's not clear cut.
And when it's not clear cut, it has to be conclusive. Right there, everything
That's
is
fine.
okay.
Right. Now here, is there a force right there with the right shot?
Yeah, but the puck is never frozen. So if the player is pushing the puck with his stick as the goaltender is trying to cover it, to me, Butchie, I think this is going to be a good goal. I really do.
I do too. You know, there is some contact with Sukinski in the blue paint, but of course, sometimes slow-mo is not the best way to look at it because it happens so fast. I think the headsets are coming off. We expect this goal to count and this game to be tied. If it's not, you'll hear the reaction from the fans.
Here comes the call.
After video review, the call on the ice stands. We have a good goal.
You got that right, I think.
Western Michigan loses their timeout.
So Western loses their timeout.
And Pat Ferschweiler to the right of me wants an explanation. And right now the official is telling him that he pushed the puck in. It was never frozen. The official is right here, so the puck was never frozen. And he didn't think that the contact was enough. And again, the call on the ice was a good goal, so Western loses their timeout. Now, if this game goes to overtime, Western will get another timeout added back, but here we go, Denver finding a way in the third period. I feel like we've seen this movie before.
It would be the third straight overtime game between these two teams. It's been all Denver after it was all Western Michigan for 41 minutes. Bump to Michaels. Michaels gains the red line. Constantini goes in. Bump is lurking. Easy exit by Denver as Western's a little more careful now. Thompson with King. Thompson is really feeling it right now after he made it a 2-1 game and gave his school hope. 2 minutes left in St. Louis. Bump. Beautiful move. Bump. Kramer shot. Blocked wide. Defenseman's got to get back. Boosberg, Rosine in there. Nearing has it. Try to go in front. Good stick. Dangerous Sam Harris. Kramer seals him off on the wall. 90 seconds left in regulation. The Denver Pioneers look dead and buried, but they have risen to tie the game.
They have risen, that is correct. And Jarrett Wright for Denver is going to get credited with that game-tying goal. The last player to touch that puck off the Polkamp shot.
Reeder has speed. Save! Slukinski. Now Western comes with some numbers if they hurry. Nearing just chipping it. Not a good deep chip, and they're trying to change. Denver has a chance here. Lorenzo goes around the wall. Under a minute to go in regulation. Overtime is looming between these two NCHC foes. The last time they met, it went to double overtime in the conference championship game. Turnover. Shot. Easy save. Slukinski. He'll cover up, so Denver will get an offensive zone faceoff. They have a timeout to use. As they wipe off the whiteboard, they can use it here if they want. So David Carl, a much more relaxed look. We saw the concerned look. It was all Western through 40, but here he's outshot the Broncos. He scored twice to tie the game.
And Polkamp and Bouillon on their offsides. They're going to try to get the puck to 23. He's got the big slapper.
Face off one. They're set up for it. Bouillon to the net. Bouillon sliding across. Beautiful defensive play by Washi. But the Pioneers have it. Polkamp stumbles a bit. He had to throw it in. Did not want to get beat. Thompson turns in front. Pioneers are feeling it. Slukinski will stop play with 13.6 to go.
Keeping an eye on the Denver bench. Now he's probably going to use his timeout here. Yep, there it is.
So this will be the fourth straight one-goal game between these two heavyweights this year.
Timeout, Denver.
Western
Timeout.
won 3-2 in December. Then Denver in overtime, and then that conference championship game that we've documented throughout our game tonight, the double overtime conference championship goal by Bump. Here are our 4 goals scored tonight, Colby Cohen.
Yeah, this game has given us a little bit of everything, and for 40 minutes, it was Western dominance, it was details, it was face-off wins, it was staying above the puck. We saw the twisted wrister from Owen Michaels, but you never count out the reigning, the defending champs, Denver Pioneers. First it was Aiden Thompson, and then it was the pile-up on front of the net, and Jared Wright knots the game at 2 with a couple of minutes to go. And Butchie, this Denver Pioneer team, they find a way when it looks bleak. They're calm, cool, and collected, and we are in for an instant classic of a finish.
Experience of Matt Davis in Denver against the first-timers of Western Michigan. Tim Washi, who's had a big face-off night. It'll be up to him to win this face-off, and now they're just thinking tie. Carter King, 95th team captain in Denver history. He told Quint after 2, we just have to keep positive. There's nothing else we can do. We have no choice. Watch out, here comes Michaels. He's got a man in front to try to beat the clock. Big stick play by Kolkamp. Kramer shot wide, and we're going to overtime. A miracle finish for Denver in regulation. They were down and beaten. And yet, they scored twice in the third, Colby.
Yeah, this team just never quits. The Denver Pioneers, they find a way to come back. And what do we have? We've got bonus hockey, but we'll send it to the boys in Bristol and hear what they have to say, Arda.
2 weeks ago, it was Denver with a 3-0 lead. Western fought back to tie the game after the Pioneers got off to the hot start. It was Western who forced overtime with that Washi goal. And it was Western who won in double overtime on the bump goal. Now tonight, it's Denver. Not down 3-0, but down 2-0 in the third. Suddenly, it was all Western Michigan, and then it was all Denver, Colby Cohen.
Yeah, don't kid yourself. Western outskated and outplayed Denver for 40 minutes in this hockey game. But in the third period, Denver stretched out their wings. They finally executed what David Carl told me before the game that they wanted to do. They needed to play behind the net. They needed to utilize their forecheck, and they got to that game in the third. And if you're Western, you cannot afford to continue to sit back. They've got to push forward. They've got to stuff Denver at the red line in the neutral zone, something they did brilliantly for 40 minutes.
See what overtime will look like. Will it be Western who comes out on their toes again like they did for 40 minutes, or will Denver continue the momentum? Will the intermission help the Broncos get it back? Sholin gets it in deep. Pioneers have it 2-on-2. Trailer coming late. 3-on-2 Denver in overtime. Beautiful stick, Sholin. Bison chops at it. And now the Broncos go the other way.
Yeah, you just can't play not to lose in overtime, Butchie. You've got to press forward.
Denver is the team pressing forward. Thompson can't control the 23rd overtime game in Frozen Four semifinal history. Remember, Denver had an overtime winner in Boston in 2022 as they beat Michigan to reach the championship game.
Yeah, look, I think back to the overtime game that I was a part of, and I remember Coach Parker, this icing is going to get waved off, had to calm us down. We were so excited to go out for overtime. He had to center us.
Devine to the net, just tickles wide. Denver looks like they have carried over that momentum a bit. Roosberg-Rosine, the defenseman, towards Davis, who muffed that with the glove. They've beaten him twice, glove side tonight. Nearing has a man at the point if he wants.
That's offsides.
Denver's NCAA tournament overtime history. They've won their last 3 games. 5-2 all time. This is the 118th overtime game of the entire NCAA tournament history. Again, 23rd in the semis. We've had 16 in the championship game. The last coming with Quinnipiac winning their first in school history in Tampa.
Yeah, and
Jacob Quillen.
Remember, Denver beat BU in overtime in this game last year.
Here's Bouillon. He could be an overtime hero. Leaves it for Harris. Shot blocked. Ouch. Harris back. Good stick into the netting.
And this is the type of a game where you want to see your superstar, whether it's Slukinski in net, whether it's Tim Washi, who's had a phenomenal game, and that's the man right there, Zeev Bouillon, who you would expect to make a showtime play and a showtime moment to lift his team through this game.
Someone's going to score a goal they remember the rest of their life. Overtime at the Frozen Four.
Might get you a job.
Colby Cohen helped in 2009. His overtime goal won the 2009 NCAA championship for the BU Terriers.
And I remember wanting the puck in overtime, Butchie. Our team, we wanted the puck. We wanted to make sure we played offense in overtime. And, you know, there is no such thing as a bad shot in overtime. And Kevin Shattenkirk just made such a phenomenal play along the blue line to me all those years ago. But, again, don't turn down shots and don't turn down traffic.
16 years ago in Washington, D.C. The Frozen Four will return after next year in Vegas. Garrett Brown, pursued by Costantini. Good pressure. That's how the game began for Western. Getting it on pucks. Bump knocks a man down. Sholin was sniffing, the defenseman. Turnover, bump. Bump has come so close. If the puck is on his stick and he has a moment to shoot, he certainly could be the hero in this one, like he was between these two teams in double overtime. But won the conference championship for Western and got them the 1 seed.
Yeah,
they're the home team tonight with the last change.
And Bump's one of those guys that can create his own space. He'll take a step or two laterally off a wall. He'll find a pocket, and he's got the release to end the game.
Tension inside Enterprise Center. Slukinski. Softly dump it in and change. Ashcroft back to get it. Long stretch pass up towards right. Kramer has it. He'll turn and fire, which is threw it up in the air. He had a man on the ice. But Kramer will skate with it now. He scored the first goal of the game. Kramer, backhand, line pass by Washi. Heading towards Shingothi, but they can't connect. Here comes Denver now. Thompson. Plenty of speed. Tsunami of snow against the end boards. William is so good right there creating. He did it last year in the national championship game on that beautiful pass to Lorenz. They made it 2-0 Denver. Hakarainen, nice little play. Michaels fires. Bothered late. And it goes wide. Sharp chases after it. He has it with speed, momentum. 3 wide. Bump, watch out! Bump, fakes, shot! Hit a body, I think might have hit Booyah. Stays out. More room. Sharp, he has Bump behind him. He tends to shoot it. Instead, he had Bump wide open, and Bump looked to the rafters. He would have had all kinds of space up high.
Yeah, you do not want to give Alex Bump that type of time and space entering the offensive zone. And Zach Sharp, the defenseman, with a little dish. But then Sharp, number 10, he continues to go to the net. He takes Z Booyam with him to the top of the paint. And look at the sprawled out Anderson getting his stick there. Booyam getting in the shot lane. But that was a high tension moment for both of these clubs.
The winner will play for the national championship Saturday. Next goal wins. Reeder. Can't get it by Drasner. Drasner up the wall. Shot. Good save. Slukinski, the 19-year-old, staying focused. Valente, beautiful move. Ripped way over the net. Come to the right point. Plenty of room for Väisänen. Over to Sharp. Wide on purpose. Rebound in front. Chopped away by Nearing. Nearing reverses to Slukinski. But a nice composed play by Ashcroft to get it out of trouble. Sholin will try to throw it back in, but he flubs it.
2-on-1.
Sebrian, 2-on-1. Harris. Good stick play by Sholin. Now back the other way. Hakarainen trying to use his speed. Down he goes. Got there simultaneously. Puck bouncing dangerously. Sholin has to be careful. Now good support from Washi. Väisänen to Sholin. The Finn and the Swede. Hakarainen did not make contact, so that's icing, a rare one for the Broncos tonight.
Yeah, Sengothi's been stuck out on the ice for a full shift here. Same with Hakarainen. So A good opportunity for Denver to try to take advantage of some tired Western Michigan Broncos. Remember, the coaches, they get a timeout given back to them for overtime, so both have that at their disposal to use or to use a free challenge.
Washi wins another face-off, and Western will begin behind their own net. Scholin. Nice pass diagonally up the ice. Pass a little too far for Shingobi. Hakarainen, but nice play by Polkamp to get away from him. Beautiful backhand pass to King. King can't get it in deep. Constantini, bump, shot! Blocker save Davis.
Another little toe-y shot.
Constantini, good acceleration. Buffalo Sabre, 5th round draft pick is number 25 in white. Kept in nicely. Duisburg Rosina nowhere to go. But Western has it back. That's way offside. And there's the whistle finally.
We've seen Alex Bump, number 20 for Western Michigan, all around the puck. Look at him just pulling it. I said he can create his own space. That is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a perfect stick on puck, but guys like Alex Bump can make you pay with not a lot of time, not a lot of space, and that is a heck of a lot of shots this year for Alex Bump, and you gotta think he's one of those guys that's sitting here saying, get me the puck, I want to be the guy to end it, and those are the types of guys you want out on the ice.
He had over 40 more shots on goal this year than Ryan Leonard. It was a machine for BC. 7 minutes into overtime. Drasner up the wall, he has Neary. But Neary left too soon. Capone stops it. Now the game is pretty much settled into a 50-50 affair after being so much Western Michigan. And then all Denver in the third. You mentioned Denver owned the third period going into that frame, outscoring their opponents 57-32. Now make it 59-32 for the year. Overtime goals this season. Thompson and King have one for Denver. Washi has 2. Langston has 1 and Bump has 2, including, of course, the conference winner.
And Washi has 8 game-winning goals.
Yes, big-time player. Watch out, here come the Pioneers. Wrap around, not there. William, trying to hit Polkamp.
He's gonna want that back.
Yeah, he could have shot that downhill. Hakarainen now. Backhand pass.
A good defensive play there by Eric Polkamp in the corner for Denver. He's been really good defensively for Denver, just erasing plays left and right. What a great pickup in the transfer portal for Denver last year from Bemidji State.
Here comes Western with some room. Kramer wants it. Kramer smacking the ice, doesn't get it. Oh, Bump had an open net. Pulled it wide. Good stick by Polkamp. May have bothered him. Puck goes in the Western bench. Oh, Alex Bump is twirling his stick. Upset at himself here. Man, you could taste it. He had an open net.
Yeah, this is just a smart play by Western. They see an opportunity to outnumber Denver. Owen Michaels with just a perfect little redirection. And that is the second time tonight Western has had Matty Davis out and about and just not able to put that thing to the back of the net.
Great look there, the passionate fan trying to root on Bump. You see they're right in front of the Blossom Lunatics there. Good gather by Bump to the net, just wide. Chop that, nice defensive play, Costantini. He's been strong tonight, 25. Stick is broken, needs a new one, he'll change instead. Slukinski comes on the ice for him. Bump is open on the wall, he has it. Up to Slukinski, gets it in deep, Bump will change. As will 3 of his teammates. Here comes Sharp. All 6 Broncos defensemen will head to the ice. Denver is pretty much Billiam or Polkamp. In front. You can hear it hit the side of the net. Chipped away. Could be a 2-on-1. Burrows tried to send it across. He probably went the wrong side of the ice. He would have had a better 2-on-1.
Yeah, Jake Fisher was just at the end of his shift, and he didn't have the legs to really get up and make that a clear 2-on-1, so Western dodges a little bullet there.
Sebrian, Lorenz, and Wright, that grinding line. Both of Denver's goals, grinding, gritty goals. Both of Western goals, gritty wrist shots from distance. Brown, big right-handed defenseman. He's got some skates. Takes it around. Dangerously to the middle. Save. Rebound. Pass across. Oh, that would have been a tap-in goal. Beautiful play by Jared Wright, but he couldn't quite finish. Akarainen showing his speed. Gets it poked away nicely. Off the ice. You could hear Michaels ask for the puck. Costantini off the ice. Bump will appear next. They're going to go right back out there. Puck bounces down. This will be icing. No. Slokinski comes out. It's waved off. Didn't need to do that. The race would have been run, but they're right back. Costantini tried to go to Michaels, who would have gotten the bump. This game is starting to turn offensive, Colby.
I love it.
I think someone's going to get a really good chance soon. Costantini protects. Get out! See, Denver wants to change. Remember, this is a long change situation in overtime, just like the second period. Bad pass. Harris! Oh, good recovery by Kramer to get his stick on Harris's stick and deflect it into the netting. So the whistle here to Shovel to give the ice a break. We'll stay here, though.
Watch Denver. They end up with a little mini 2-on-0 around the net as Brown just wheels the puck around, and you don't see Western let 2 Pioneers get behind them that often, and Hampton Slokinski just calm, cool, and collected. He really never looks, Butchie, like he has to move that much because he seems so under control and so technically sound in the net.
And that was him who blocked that pass with his paddle. As David Carl is going to use this shovel break here to design a play. Remember, crossbar from nearing very early on. He told our Quinn Kesnick after one, I probably could have waited to settle the puck, but man, he had an open net. You can see they're fluttering, and he shot the crossbar.
Yeah, after a big-time save by Matt Davis, nearing just with a great look. And this was the Alex bump chance off the Owen Michaels redirection, and that's normally what an overtime goal looks like. A little chip towards the net, bouncy, ping-pong, whatever your flavor is, and it's usually going to take an ugly one to end a team season.
Just turned that toe over a bit and pulled it wide. So there's David Carl after his whiteboard session, trying to create something, reminders of what they're trying to do. He's got to be happy, Colby, that the game is kind of at least settled back and balanced. He had no answers the first 40.
Yeah, well, they finally got to their game, and you know, part of that was Western Michigan kind of backed off, being stubborn at the red line, and let Denver have an opportunity to get in and get on the forecheck. And you know, this is a veteran team. Both of these teams have some older players. They played in big moments. They played in overtimes, and I think we're at the point now where who's going to blink first?
Williams' parents, a little better expression now. Last time we checked in, they were like all of Pio Nation, seemingly hopeless. There was just no sign they were going to get back in this game like they have.
What a great hockey game we've been treated to, though.
Absolutely. Denver trying to win back-to-back championships for the 4th time in school history. William! Save! Wow! My goodness, he's unbelievable. But here comes Bump. Cross to Michaels towards Bump. Deflected just wide by William, who then chops it up into the netting. Both ends of the ice see William a part of this story right now.
Yeah, he almost just ended the game at both ends of the ice. It's the dive down the wall, then watch, he plants that foot, and he gets dancing, and he's just not really able to continue to control the puck. Look at the reaction from the Booyums. Oh no, if you can lip read, close your eyes at home.
Move, honey.
He's probably, I don't know, I bet he's played 35 minutes in this hockey game so far.
Nearing. Shot! Saved by Davis. Quick chest.
These face-offs just become so important. You've got to get these pucks back in the offensive zone, and you got to get action towards the net. And Western's been great on the draws in the offensive zone all day in this hockey game.
Slukinski, 50-50. Good play by Bouillon to chop it back towards Polkamp, who then chops it up to Lorenz, who goes to the speedy right. Under 8.5 to go in the first overtime. Penn State and BU now wait. Nearing will go. Back check from Lorenz. Waited too long. Good play. Just onside. Across. Valente. Washi will get to it. Turn back. Kept in nicely across the blue line. Stays in. Good play by Sholin. Washi has it. Backs in front. Puck is loose. Sprawling Davis. Puck is still loose. Whacking at it. Trying to fish it out. There's the whistle.
Western Michigan taking advantage of some careless puck play, and the defense for Western showing poise up at the blue line, which leads to a couple of second and third opportunities as Tim Washi and his line just playing in the dirty areas around the net. Watch how close this one is.
Hakkarainen with a great effort.
Just bounces off Severian's skate.
Ooh.
And then look at all the bodies right on top of the blue paint. Big face-off here.
Washi. Bisonen and Sholin are the defensemen behind him. His wingers are Shingovi and Hakkarainen. Clean face-off win again by Washi. Shot the net! Saved by Davis. Bisonen got it through.
There should be 32 NHL teams with contracts in their pockets for Washi.
King, bank. He had Thompson open but can't connect. Shot by Anderson. Oh, it's deflected wide. Jack Devine looking for his first NCAA tournament goal. Denver on the attack. Save. It's loose. Save. Sholin with it as Denver changes. Devine down the wall. Delivers a thunderous hit. Bisonen calmly goes to Sholin. Long pass up. Costantini takes it out by Harris. Bump is back on the ice. But it comes out. Rosine up towards Nearing. Bump comes over to support. Kicks it towards Nearing. Costantini kicks it to his tape. Tries to dangle through traffic. Almost did. Nice reverse hit on Salmonen. Bump has it. Bump shot. Saved by Davis. He got a piece of that. Might have been wide, but still got a piece. Costantini shot. Davis just got down that butterfly quickly to make the save. Chip out of trouble by the Pioneers, but once again, here comes that transition hockey for Western. Bump has the man open. Can't find him. Bump still with it. So good in traffic. Nearing trying to chop it towards the man down. No arms in the air. Play continues. Under 6 to go in overtime. Bump takes a big hard hit from Polkamp. Five-minute majors were a part of Western's game against UMass. Both teams want to avoid that in this overtime situation. Valente. Slukinski. Valente off his skate. Strasner up the wall. Will retreat now. Sharp, nice job to keep it in. Puck was in his feet, now Denver goes. Shot out of play right next to Colby.
This overtime has definitely favored some of the opportunities for Denver. And we talked about the importance of just getting pucks in and around the net. Make Hampton Slukinski stop it. That one looked to me like it had eyes, but Slukinski is just so calm in the way that he plays in the crease.
David Carl sends out his fourth line. Pat Ferschweiler has the last change, sends out the Washi third line. And Washi wins the faceoff easily. Sholin throws it in. Washi gloves it down, lays it on the ice so he can play with his stick. Now the scrum continues towards the blue line. Washi gets it in deep, but Brown has it and he'll be able to exit the zone. Tipped by Burrows, other side of the red line, no icing. Too far for Jingovi. Capone will wheel and get deep, and Denver will change again. Under 5 minutes in the first overtime. The last time these two teams played, it went to double overtime with Western winning. Washi waits, runs out of room. Denver has Holkamp. Dangerous offensive player. Duisburg, Rosine all the way up, but too far. Michaels tries to fish it out. Bump. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Bump across. Never really had a chance to get that to Owen Michaels. Can't afford to let your concentration down. Under 4 to go in overtime. Matt Davis has to be mentally exhausted. He was under fire early. He would not be here without his play. Now he's trying to call on the adrenaline, the second win, the third win, to stay sharp and hope his team can get the next goal. Pass right to Denver. Ashcroft. Big lines out there. Devine's been dangerous. Shot! Oh, it just went wide. Let it nick the post, but it stayed out as it fluttered and sailed towards Slukinski.
3-on-2.
Nearing. Cross one-timer. Grant Slukinski couldn't get enough on that. 41 saves for Matt Davis. Room to wheel for Väisänen. Denver sits back in the 1-2-2. Force them to enter it. Try to dump it in. Washi will bounce it towards Davis softly. Those are good plays in overtime. Puck bounces, oh, and backhanded, shoveled high into the netting by Hakkarainen.
Jack Devine, the senior, looking for his first career NCAA tournament goal through traffic. You see Slukinski fighting it off, and then Western Michigan with an opportunity with the game on his stick. Hakkarainen just puts that one up and off Steve Booyam's stick up into the netting, and another offensive zone draw where Alex Bump will get right behind Owen Michaels, and they run this play often throughout the season.
Face off one, Bump has it. Kramer shot for the deflection to Costantini. Can't get it, it goes wide.
Yeah, that face off is about a foot too wide for Bump to just grab that puck and shoot it himself.
Bump's got some strong hands. When he corrals the puck, it sticks to his stick, and he has it. Tries to dance Sebrian, and he can't. And the Denver native who grew up going to Denver games.
Williams lurking here. Let's see.
There he is. He wants it. Sebrian to the net. It goes wide. Now Booyam has it. Takes a hard hit. Denver wants a trip. Not coming. 2-on-1 in overtime. Bump for the win. Save Davis. Denver wanted a trip on Booyam, a leg trip. They don't get the call. Play continues. The whole coaching staff was on the bench. Of course, they're now trying to get the next call. Under 2 minutes to go in overtime. The winner to the national championship game Saturday night on ESPN2 against the BU Penn State winner. They continue to wait for this game. Shingovi, Maple Leaf draft pick, cycles down towards Valente. Lukinski lurking. Thompson gets it back from Ashcroft. King leaves it for the speedy Thompson. Backhand, high over the net. It's going to come all the way around. And Hakkarainen with momentum. Hakkarainen, saved by Davis. Just got that right toe on.
Yeah, that was a quick release by Hakkarainen.
It was. He's an impressive player.
Yeah, I like the way he plays. He looks like he's built for a pro game, the way that he plays heavy down the walls. He's always around the puck.
Turnover. Oh, in front was Thompson. Michaels got caught up in front of Snow on the Denver bench, and they get the turnover. Reeder, talented player. To the net, save! Lukinski doesn't have a stick, but he'll be saved by the icing.
Oh, about a minute and a half ago, we talked about David Carl and his staff being irate. And watch this missed trip. Owen Michaels on Zeev Buium, and I'm all for letting this game finish 5-on-5, Butchie, but to me, that is a blatant missed penalty, and it leads to the 2-on-1, and Alex Bump almost ends this game, and Western Michigan off the icing. They're going to use their timeout, and why not? You continue to get another one in each overtime period, but that is 100% a lucky break for Western, because that is a missed call.
30.1 seconds to go off the icing. You're allowed to call timeout in college hockey. So now you're trying to manage the situation here, Colby. In game 2, you're trying to manage your warm-ups and not lose your energy.
I think every team loves when they get the early game at the Frozen Four, because now all of a sudden you've got to warm up twice. You've eaten about 4 or 5 hours ago, so now you have to start wondering, do we need to bring more food in? What kind of electrolytes, what kind of snacks? If you get to a certain point, you might even have to start looking for, I don't know, pizza, something like that. I'm sure they could do better. I remember this happened to us before a Beanpot game one time, and the other game went into 2 or 3 overtimes, and all of a sudden we're trying to crush a slice of pizza before warm-ups just to get something into your stomach. So definitely, fans may not like it, but teams love having the early game.
That's 8:30 local here, so those watching in the East, it's not quite that late, but we're still looking at a post 9 o'clock local start at least, maybe more.
Go
20 seconds left in overtime. Icing is called.
You have to wonder if they'll keep Washi out to take this draw. It doesn't look like they will. Costantini's going to choose the right face-off circle. And remember, on an icing, they give the centerman the opportunity to decide which circle he wants the face-off in. And Michaels elects to go to his backhand, where Bump can come off the weak side and come across and try to end this thing.
Krusberg, Rosine, Kramer are the defensemen behind Michaels. Bump is right behind him, as Colby mentioned.
Looks like Michaels is getting tossed out of this one. Nope, just a warning.
Yep. Face-off goes to the wall, cleared around. Krusberg, Rosine will step in on his backhand, make a nice play to keep it in. 10 seconds left. Western trying to beat the buzzer, but it's going to come out. Now they're going to run out of time. We're going to double overtime in game 1 of the Frozen Four. The last time these two teams met, they went to double overtime for the conference championship. First double overtime game in a Frozen Four since 1996. Guy Godowski's alma mater, Colorado College, defeated the Vermont Catamounts.
Now we get ready to start that double overtime game. And Butchie, these two teams They played in the tournament in 2011, and Denver won in double overtime.
That was the Midwest Regional semifinal in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 14 years ago. With, yes, the only other time these two teams have met in the NCAA tournament. Denver winning 3-2 in double overtime. Someone's going to win this game 3-2, possibly in double overtime. Michaels for the win! He scores! Owen Michaels is the hero for Western Michigan.
Now remember here, Butchie, as Western Michigan celebrates, all goals in overtime have to be cleared. What are they looking for? Offsides? They're looking for, did a puck go out of play and hit the netting and come back in? Running through all of the check marks to make sure that this is a good goal. And I do expect it to be a good goal as the officials come back out on the ice. But that is the protocol in the NCAA tournament in overtime.
There's the point to center ice, and now it's official.
And now David Carl, he can challenge this if he wants. He can challenge for a major. He can challenge for a major would be the only thing that he would challenge for in overtime because they look at everything else on their own. I don't expect that to happen, but right now, it looks like David Carl is putting his hands on the back of his player's jersey saying, yeah, boys, it's over, and he's coming out to shake hands. But that is the protocol here in the NCAA tournament as Owen Michaels and his team will celebrate the 2 overtime win for the Western Michigan Broncos.
Second goal of the game for the 22-year-old from Detroit, Michigan, Owen Michaels. They were both absolute snipe shows, too. That was a perfectly placed shot. The only way you were beating Matt Davis in the NCAA tournament was with shots like we saw tonight from Western Michigan. It's their first Frozen Four game in school history, and now they're 1 win away from the biggest moment in athletic school history, a national championship. Pat Ferschweiler was the man who took over for Andy Murray, and it's been nothing but 20-win seasons, and now Quint Kestic, he's 1 win away from a national championship.
Slippery on fresh ice. Congratulations, Coach. You made it.
We did. I thought we played great all game, honestly. They pushed their champions, so they put a hard push on in the third. We couldn't quite resist it all, but I thought we pushed right back in overtime, and we're quality. We played Bronco hockey all day long.
What was going through your mind when they made that push and tied it up at 2 and had all sorts of momentum?
Well, we knew it was coming. I mean, they're champions. It's what they are. They're great. They're a well-coached team, but we also are calm. And we were able to push back, regather ourselves in the break, and I thought we were the better team in the overtime.
You were. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now the handshakes. Players' careers coming to an end, like Connor Capone, Carter King, Matt Davis, and of course this is obviously about the players first, and there's Davis. What a performance. He will go down as a legendary goalie. He was the reason they won the national championship last year, and he would have been the reason why they won tonight, Colby. And there's Dad looking on again. It's about the players, but also about the parents. Been watching their boys play hockey since they were 5, 6, 7 years old, and they don't know, when they'll do it again. But he'll get a shot the next level, with his ECHL, and try to work his way up.
And he was so good.
And there's Zeke Bouillon, Colby. He's off to the NHL.
Yeah, Matt Davis, just to finish your thought there, was so good, and how different it can be for Zeke Bouillon, who you mentioned it. He'll be playing for the Minnesota Wild probably sometime in the next 48 hours. But going back to Pat Ferschweiler and what he said, they were the better team for 2 of the 3 periods. They were the better team in the first overtime, so it was only a matter of time before they found a way to break through and beat that man right there, Matt Davis. And now Quint is standing with the overtime hero, Owen Michaels.
Owen, congratulations. What happened?
Not too sure, kind of blacked out, but just saw the puck there, had some space, and just figured I'd put it on net, and unfortunately it went in.
it appeared that you guys were controlling this game until they made a run at you. At that stage, what was going through your mind?
You know, we never lost our belief. You know, that's one thing we refused to lack is belief in each other and ourselves. We knew they were going to come with a push. They're a familiar opponent, hell of a team, and, you know, just two teams going at it, fighting for their lives.
What was going on in the locker room before that the extra overtime?
Same thing we've been doing in between periods this whole year. Just we got the belief. We know we're the group that's going to make history for this program, and, you know, hell of a game.
Congratulations. Bucci.
And boy, you feel for Matt Davis. This guy, he's a real thoughtful kid, soft-spoken. We've gotten to know him the last 2 years. Overlooked, undervalued. No one really believed in him. Undrafted. But my goodness, you talk about someone giving your heart and soul to a school and to a team. And now it's just all coming out of him. We talked about the tension, Colby, from the opening faceoff that he was under. And he gave everything, and now it's all over.
Yeah, this kid put his team on his back in the Frozen Four national semifinal, and we've seen him do that before, and I just want to echo the sentiments and the statements. We had such a phenomenal time getting to know this young man over the last couple of years with all the meetings we've had and all the conversations we've had, and I mean, there is nothing more that he could have done for this Denver Pioneer team, because this game could have been 4-5-0 after the first period in favor of Western Michigan.
It will hurt for a while, but it's going to be a memory, the bond with these brothers that they have going forward. But in the end, this night was about the Western Michigan Broncos. And in the end, the exclamation point came from Owen Michaels. He picked his spot, and he finished. And the Broncos are bucking their way to the title game on Saturday. Game 2, Boston University and Penn State. We'll see you in an hour from St. Louis, Artem.